Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Are you a Christian media professional passionate about using media to advance the message of hope and faith? Whether you're just starting out or an industry leader, the National Religious Broadcasters is here to help. Founded in 1944, NRB advocates for Christian communicators in legislative, regulatory, legal, and corporate areas. NRB membership is affordable and offers valuable benefits, including event discounts, educational programs, and virtual networking. Plus, the Christian media industry comes to life at the annual NRB convention, complete with world-class networking and professional development opportunities. Build relationships, grow your impact, and be part of a vibrant Christian media community. Visit nrb.org/membership to join today and use promo code RADIO to waive your application fee.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
More questions about the death of Gene Hackman. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Sheriff's officials in New Mexico say there were no obvious signs of foul play, but now also say they're not ruling it out after the actor and his wife were found dead in separate rooms in their Santa Fe home.
The bodies were discovered on Wednesday, as we understand it, by a couple of maintenance workers who regularly went to the property but said they had not seen the couple for around 2 weeks. That's when the sheriff's deputies went, and they, looking at the scene, didn't find any obvious signs, they said, of a gas leak or a carbon monoxide leak.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Hackman was 95. His wife in her 60s. One of their dogs was also found dead. President Trump says he could trust the Russian president to abide by any peace deal reached with Ukraine.
If a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia is reached, President Trump believes Russian President Vladimir Putin will keep his word.
I've known him for a long time now, and I think he will. I don't believe he's going to violate his word. I don't think he'll be back. When we make a deal, I think the deal's going to hold.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the deal could be backed up with European peacekeepers.
We've got to make sure it's a deal that lasts, that is not temporary, that lasts, and that's why we need to make sure that it's secure, and we've lent in and said we'll play our part.
President Trump is hosting Starmer a day before Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected here to sign off on a rare earth minerals agreement.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where President Trump and the British Prime Minister are set to hold a joint news conference. One of the lawsuits over a toxic train derailment in Ohio has just been dismissed. A federal judge rejecting bondholders' claims that Norfolk Southern caused them hundreds of millions of dollars in losses by concealing safety risks before the 2023 derailment. America is listening to Fox News.
Police officer and canine handler Jacob Russell Chaffins was fatally shot while attempting to serve warrants for domestic violence offenses. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave the Chaffins family the gift of a mortgage-free home. There's so much more to do to say thank you to our nation's heroes and their families for their immense sacrifices for us. Help Tunnel to Towers to lift up these heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Look out. Here we go. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer Howard standing by. And with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler, Mr. Married Man at the controls. It's Flounder. Yeah, kind of working for the weekend, baby. Almost there. Thursday afternoon. How you doing? 303 It's a nice day again. It's just mild, a little cooler, but here we go. Another couple of days, and that'll be nice. Anyway, how's it going? Our number is 404-741-1230, 1230. And, of course, we have two major stories, and one of them is shocking, and the other one is disappointing, among other things. And we got a million other stories here, too, and you can hear a couple of complaining things. They're going after the bad guys. Jim Comey, we talked about this yesterday, when he was setting up those phony honeypot FBI chicks to try to spy on Donald Trump to help the Democrats in a presidential election, done by the director of the FBI. And now they've caught him. Anyway, so they're going after him. You'll hear Mike Flynn talk about that. Also, another thing, in case you missed it, I saw this last night. One of the reasons I watch Jesse Waters on Fox at 8 o'clock, just because I like the people he has on, and he does have kind of breaking news stuff. And he had on last night the tape of Jake Tapper when he was being interviewed, when he was interviewing Lara Trump, and Lara Trump was saying, Joe Biden is just his mental computer, and the guy said, he has a stutter, and then he claimed that she was making fun of people with stutters. I mean, and then he's claiming his investigation shows, by God, there was a cover up of some kind to hide the fact. Anyway, Pete Davis, what's new in the mountains of Macon here as we set the stage?
I'm shocked to hear there's gambling in this establishment.
Well, here's your winnings, sir.
Here's your winnings. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. So what's new up in the mountains of Macon the last 24 hours there, my friend?
I'm glad to find out that at least 2 or 3 dogs did survive the Hackman incident out there, but one dog was dead in a closet. I hope it didn't starve to death.
Well, we'll talk a lot about this. And again, you're going to hear a thing Pete found this morning, and I'm going to play it every hour just because. And also, for the record, I'm wearing this thing. This is I forgot what to call it. It's an old Marine Corps thing, vest, yeah. And it's got patches on it. And by the way, I don't know I don't know what they say. I hope they're not dirty.
POWMIA.
Yeah, it's like, okay, anyway. So I don't think there's anything dirty on it. My kid. Oh, the stinking mic. What the hell's going on with the stupid stinking thing with a thing there? Sorry.
Finish what you're saying.
Anyway, so I'm wearing this in honor of Gene Hackman, who was a Marine. By the way, we'll talk more about his service. And by the way, he admitted himself he wasn't really a very good Marine. He got busted from rank for fighting. We'll talk about it. Anyway, now what the hell was I just talking about before this?
Marine.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm wearing this. And, on David Letterman. It's pretty funny. So you heard about that too, and the list. We knew that the Jeffrey Epstein thing so far is a complete disappointment. We'll talk more about that and how come kind of releasing it sort of in a funny way too. Anyway, Flounder in our the Cave of Darkness. How's what's going on in the last 24 hours? You and Miss Veronica?
Pretty much the same as the previous 24 hours. All is well.
There you go. Well, again, our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And by the way, I made for the last several days, I've been making cookies. I don't know why. And cookies in the morning while I'm doing my work, watching Fox News and listening. What I do, I get up early, and I'm starting around 5:30. I put the app on to hear the last part of our show and then listen to the morning show guys. And so while I'm doing that, and I decided the last couple of days, I'd gotten a thing. I just getting these things, and I got a thing to make cookies. And so I've been bringing cookies to the girls at work here. Oh, sorry, the female humanoids at work here, the girls at work. And then and this morning, and I remember I was talking about this yesterday. I said, well, geez, maybe I'll make a meatloaf. Haven't done that in a long time. And then I said, but I remember you chastised me because I was thinking about using onion powder in the recipe. And no, because I usually dice up onion. No, you got to dice. So I had to go to the store on the way home. So I didn't get home till like 7:45 or something. Just to go buy onions. And by the way, for the record, I'm going to make sure I had eggs because I put eggs in my meatloaf recipe, and there was not an egg in Publix, in the major Publix in Alpharetta. No eggs.
You want me to bring you some eggs? Because
I have 3 left. I'm telling you, I'm not making. I mean, it's not fake. We're not faking it. They're gone. They're not there. You cannot buy an egg in so many of these stores because they're just not there.
You know what? I'm going to bring some eggs down there and stand on the side of the road like Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, $5 a piece. You got.
Oh no, $10 a piece. Are you kidding me? Kroger's getting 5.
Oh my God. Anyway,
by the way, these things you're getting stuck in, they're called ruts.
The rut stucking, yes. Anyway, so I did make a meatloaf, and I'm not. I think and darn it all, I think it's okay, but I think I overcooked it, and I even took it out early. It says to cook at 350 for an hour, and I cooked it at 350 for like 50 minutes, and I took it out, and I still think it's a little dry and overcooked. So I'm going to smear it with I have this favorite gravy I use, so I'll be fine. But anyway, at Flounder, if you don't like it, you will not hurt my feelings if you just chuck it. And don't change you and Veronica's dinner plans in case you don't. I give him a big old slag. I gave him more than I actually kept because I'll have it in one day and then make a sandwich out of it, and then I'm done. Anyway,
that's not
sorry,
a good sign when the cook gives you more than they keep themselves.
Well, I know he's got 2 people. He's got a wife now. And again, you can make if it's any good. And again, I made it this morning, so it wasn't from yesterday. I made it this morning while I was working. Anyway, and so he can have dinner tonight, enough for a little sandwich for me. I don't know, snack. I don't know. I'm just saying. Throw it away. I don't care what you do. A couple of things. We'll talk a little later about AI. Here we go again. I'm freaking out the more I hear it. Glenn Beck has been doing this pretty much every day for like an hour. He's got these AI experts, and they're scaring the crap out of me. And again, you better get with the program.
Elon Musk just said something that you've been saying about them wanting to kill all of us, and he pretty much says it's going to do it.
Yeah, we'll get rid of the disease by changing the human being and take away all the things that'll prevent that. And go, well, wait a minute. Now, and by the way, isn't there some kind of thing involving a creator who might say, well, I really don't think I like that you're changing what I made? Okay, now I don't want to get we don't get religious or spiritual very much because I'm, kind of a sleazy bastard half the time, as you know, although I am an ordained minister, the most dangerous minister in America. But still, if there's a creator who still cares, now there are some people, I guess it's agnostic, say there was God, but then he said, screw this, and left. I think that's kind of a thing that there a whole section of people. But for people who believe that there was a creator and he still is part of all this, do you really think that he, she, it, whatever, would allow machines to destroy his creation?
I think it'd be more like, would he allow machines to make you eternal, that you never die? Because maybe that's the next step. You're supposed to die. You're supposed to move on to something else. You're not supposed to be stuck
that's
in
why
a
there was a
machine
sacrifice.
the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's why there's a sacrifice to go to a different level. But again, so he would think maybe, I'm saying that he would think that there was an infringement on his level of whatever heaven is, or the afterlife. And so if
he just think the experiment's gone too far and it's time to pull the plug.
Again, the whole thing is just freaking me out. I tell you, it's just if I were like 18 and especially if I were smart, if I were a really smart 18-year-old kid, I would be freaking out about my future and what to do about it right now.
Look at this from the perspective of an all-powerful, omniscient, omnipresent being. The lifespan of human beings is but a blink.
Yeah, it's nothing.
In that's existence.
Yeah, right. But still, he made it. And if he didn't care about it, we would have killed it.
Important.
Yeah. And I don't know. Again, I'm throwing it out there. And one more thing before we get the actual news stuff. And again, sorry about that, but here's where we go. And I want to get to the Gene Hackman thing real quick. And again, in honor of a Marine. Where are all the parades or the tributes or the commentaries and the salutes to Joe Biden? Where is he? Is he dead or alive? I'll bet you he'll be dead I think he's just dying. I think he's just it's over. I think the reason for him even existing was gone a long time ago, and his wife, the cuckold queen, kept him alive for the power angle. And now, this is shameful. Look at this freak. What the hell is this? All right, I'll put it down there. There you go. There, it's right down in there. Down in there. Sorry. Anyway, where is he? No comments, no reactions, the Democrats aren't saying, well, our leader is reacting to this for the Doge thing. How come no comment from destroying his reputation for the last 4 years? All the sleazy, slimy graft and corruption, billions of dollars for steaky big fellows. There's nothing from him. Where is he? He disappeared. Boy, I can't wait to have him to talk about his library. The shameful disgrace. It's one thing after another. Oh, my God. Anyway, I just get the biggest kick out of this. What a disgrace. And by the way, Donald Trump is going to do another live news conference, and when he does, we're going to it. But it's amazing. In fact, we have a story about comparing the two presidents, and 1,000 questions Donald Trump's answered in a month, and Joe Biden answered like 100 at the same time. Anyway, it's unbelievable. Yeah. All right, 3:13, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Thursday, and we're glad to have you aboard. 404-741-1230. The Gene Hackman story and the list of the Jeffrey Epstein, which is just a list of people, and we will get to it. 106.3. How you go? Here you go. Look out.
The Morning Extra is live weekday mornings from 6 to 10, and here's what you missed. I saw somebody wrote this on Twitter. Am I going to find out they funded 9/11?
At this point, anything's possible.
Oh, my God, anything's possible. If we learn that, I don't know what I'll do with myself. I don't know that I'm ready mentally to hear that. And the crazy thing is, I'd almost be more surprised if I found out we didn't. That's the saddest part of it. I guess the silver lining is we take such joy in the dismantling of this swamp that they told me didn't exist. Seeing it dismantled layer by layer, that will help me get through anything that we discover, I believe.
Well, this was the news media, namely the New York Times, that initially the deep state doesn't exist. There's not black money going to all these places around the world. And then it turned into, okay, it's been proven. Now they pointed out it's good for America that we have this.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. every weekday morning on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Looking for the perfect car, truck, or SUV? Jim Ellis Buick GMC has you covered. With a huge selection of new and used vehicles, finding the right fit is easy.
Whether it's a Buick Enclave or Envision, a GMC Acadia or Yukon, or the power of the Sierra and Canyon trucks. And the best part, you're never alone in the process.
Their expert sales team helps match you with the right vehicle, while their finance specialists make buying simple and stress-free.
With decades of experience, Jim Ellis Buick GMC understands the importance of offering an expansive inventory that fits every driving performance, style, and budget need. Plus, every new Buick and GMC comes with cutting-edge technology, premium comfort, and advanced safety features so you can drive with confidence.
Already a Buick or GMC owner? Well, keep it running like new with their state-of-the-art service center staffed by factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. Start your search at JimEllisBuickGMC.com or shop in person in Chamblee off Peachtree Boulevard, inside the Perimeter, or in Beaufort off Highway 20 near 985. Jim Ellis, Buick GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, homeowners, it's Flounder, and I'm here to keep you warm. Well, I won't, but my friends at Dobbs Heating and Air will. As a new homeowner myself, I prefer working with local, family-owned companies who value what matters to me and treats my home like it's their own. The Dobbs family have a passion for what they do, and taking care of people is their primary goal. So if your home needs help staying warm right now, call Dobbs Heating and Air and experience the Dobbs difference. And check them out online at DobbsHVAC.com.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Georgia farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers' continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelty. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelty can help provide you with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less.
How do I get started with Zelty?
Just send them a text.
Text MAJOR to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty to see if you're eligible. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text MAJOR to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text MAJOR to 200-300. MAJOR to 200-300.
Did you know that over 85% of grass-fed beef in stores is imported? Since the repeal of the country of origin labeling law in 2015, meat packaged in the United States can be labeled product of the U.S., even if it was born, raised, and harvested overseas. This is why I'm a big fan of GoodRanchers.com, the brand committed to 100% American meat. All of their products are born, raised, and harvested here in the U.S., free from antibiotics, added hormones, and seed oils. When you buy from Good Ranchers, you're supporting American farmers and ranchers who have fed this country for generations. And at GoodRanchers.com, you can also check out my exclusive box, try my hand-picked selections, support my show, and directly support American ranches. Go to GoodRanchers.com/Beck and shop for my box today. Plus, right now, if you subscribe, you'll get free ground beef, chicken breast, or salmon in every box for a year and $25 off with the promo code Beck. Visit GoodRanchers.com. Shop, subscribe, and stand with American ranches and values. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered.
Bum, bum, bum. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Nice to have you aboard with a little U2 action for you. You can always tell that haunting sound. It's a very, very huge monster raking in money. In 2010, they rated who's making what in the music industry. U2 made more than anybody else. In the year 2009, sounds like an idiot. In 2009, they made $109 million. U2, twice as much as second best Brooks Cheatstein, who took home $58 million after cheating on his wife. Followed by Madonna, who, by the way, destroyed her face. Poor thing. Why, God. Madonna had $47 million in 2009. AC/DC made $44 million. Coldplay, the most successful British group, at number 8 with $27 million. So that's as good as you tell, kind of whining. And let's see, our birthday list includes, Pete Davis. Right now, I'm thinking of the movie Shooter. So when you get all snotty when I say to you that this woman was a goddess, I tell you, a goddess. In the movie Shooter, Kate Mara is 42. Now, I know she's a boy, and you don't like her, and you think she's very over something or other. And that movie Shooter, let me tell you, man, when they all of a sudden
it's not Shooter you're thinking of.
What am I thinking
of? The Swedish movie that was made into an American movie, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, no. Kate Mara's the one in Shooter. The other Mara is the one in Dragon Tattoo.
Rooney.
Yeah, Cara Rooney, yeah. And by the way, she was, sexy, but kind of freaky, real freaky. But they made her look freaky with a nose with all that metal and stuff, too. But again, I don't know. What do I know? Now, and our history list includes today in history. 1973, the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, 200 members of the Oglala Lakota tribe, led by members of the American Indian Movement, AIM, occupy Wounded Knee, the site of the infamous 1890 massacre of 300 Sioux by the 7th Cavalry. The AIM members in 1973, some of them armed, took 11 residents of the historic Oglala Sioux settlement hostage. Local authorities, federal agents descended on the reservation. AIM was founded by Russell Means, 68, and Dennis Banks and others. Civil rights kind of a deal. They occupied Alcatraz in 1971, saying they had the right because of a treaty. In 72, AIM took over the Bureau of Indian Affairs in Washington. 73, dramatic occupation of Wounded Knee. It was one of the poorest communities in the United States, shared with the other Pine Ridge settlements on some of the country's lowest rates of life expectancy. The occupation at Wounded Knee. It's 322. How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 1230. Gene Hackman and his wife and one of his dogs dead. Holy criminy. I'm hoping to God it's carbon monoxide, which is one of his daughters thinks is probably what happened. It's weird. It may or may not be suspicious. A lot of and we're going to hear a rather interesting and funny bit when he was on David Letterman here in just a second. Gene Hackman, in their $1 million mansion in Santa Fe, New Mexico, with his wife. Gene Hackman, 95 years old. His wife was 64, and there was evidence of being mummified. Decomposed for so long, they started to mummify in her hands and feet. Also, Gene Hackman decomposed. Mummification can occur in a place with cold, dry air, which can happen in Santa Fe in the wintertime, and they think that's where bacteria doesn't grow, so that's why it was a little different thing, a little gross. I'm sorry, this is so, horrible. The wife was on the bathroom floor with the open prescription bottle of pills scattered all over. There was a space heater next to her head. and they're thinking it may have fallen. Hackman was found dead in a mudroom, fully clothed, his sunglasses and cane next to his body, suggesting he may have died of a sudden fall. But again, they had 3 dogs. A German Shepherd was found dead a few feet away from his mother in a closet. Another of the dogs was found next to her, alive, guarding her. And the other dog that was still alive was roaming the property. The front door was open. So that leads me to wonder, if the front door was open, could there still be enough carbon monoxide from a space heater to kill him in a different room? Or
did he die and she just decided she didn't want to live without him and take pills?
Well, that's the other thing.
And leave the door open so people can come in, or the dogs could go out?
I know. I can't. I don't want to. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing is just horrible. And by the way, can you tell if it was carbon monoxide? Do you know if there's ever been evidence of people who were going to die of carbon monoxide but then came out of it? And can you tell if you're losing it? Like Payne Stewart in the airplane when you just fall asleep.
Like Vitus Gerolitis, I think. Here's another theory that Gene Hackman had been offered a new role as he thought he was playing Adolf Hitler in The Bunker. So the first thing you do is the dog, and then the wife, and then yourself. I just knew. Wow. And again, his storied career is unbelievable. I mean, even goofy roles. When he played the blind guy in Young Frankenstein, for God's sakes. I mean, hysterical. Anyway, a couple things. Let's do this. He was on David Letterman one time. Gene Hackman on David Letterman. And to set the stage really quickly, let me just a couple of quick things here. I've got this on my phone. Hold on. Give me Gene Hackman, you rat. Here we go. Gene Hackman, at the age of 16, lied about his age and enlisted in the Marine Corps. He served from 1947 to 52 as a field radio operator. He was stationed in China. And David Letterman asked him about being a Marine, and here's how that went on David Letterman's show.
What were the circumstances leading up to the decision a 16-year-old kid makes about going into the Marine Corps for you?
I couldn't get laid, and...
I couldn't either, but I thought maybe scouting would help.
I had tried scouting.
Go to the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no, I just wanted to get out of town, really. Marine Corps happened to be the only place that would send me, And I was just 16. And
was that part of basic training? Good Lord.
No, I heard that they would send you to China, and I knew that was possible there,
I don't understand that, but you were in from the age of 16 to when?
16 till I was in 5 years.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Great experience? Oh, I see. You stay in until you complete the mission. Yeah. Oh, geez. We don't have a clip here, do we? Of anything? No, of the movie, of his experiences in the Corps? Nothing.
Staff.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I would be interested in that. You want to hit a cannon full of cheese balls?
I'd love to do
Go
that.
ahead, right there.
And now on the set, he releases the cheese balls into the air.
Oh, you hit a dud.
Push of a button.
All right, try another one.
Yeah, I guess we cut it there. Gene Hackman on David Letterman. Now, a couple other things. Gene Hackman was stationed in China. Operation Beleaguer, led by a guy commanded 50,000 Marines of the Marine Amphibious Corps in northeastern China, trying to help American lives and property and also reunite Japanese and Koreans after World War II. Gene Hackman was assigned to the 3rd Marine Regiment. He was in trouble for fighting several times and got busted down from corporal like 3 times at least. Gene Hackman said, I have trouble with direction because I have trouble with authority. I was not a good Marine, but I had a good time in the Marines. He actually was riding a motorcycle one day and fell, broke his leg and shoulder and left knee, and so they had to discharge him. And then he went to school and took up broadcasting or journalism or something, and became an actor and all.
So many great roles, but one that doesn't get thought of very much, The Chamber, 1996. It's a John Grisham book turned into a movie. He plays a KKK guy accused of burning down a church, and he's on death row. And it's absolutely his performance is amazing.
Yeah. He was in The Conversation. He wrote that and starred in it. The Royal Tannenbaums, Superman, Bonnie and Clyde, Young Frankenstein, and of course he won 2 Oscars for Unforgiven and Popeye Doyle, yeah, French Connection, and I mean, and so many other things too. But check this: for his parents fought all the time. His father used his fists on Gene to take out his rage. Gene, as a little boy, found refuge in movies, identifying with Errol Flynn and James Cagney. When Gene Hackman was 13, his father waved goodbye and never returned. Disappeared. His mother became an alcoholic, constantly fought with him. At 16, he said, I had to get out of here and join the Marines. And that's why he did it. His first starring role came in the movie I Never Sang for My Father. Remember that movie in 1970 with Melvin Douglas? And it was about a man struggling to deal with a failed relationship with his dying father.
How about the birdcage where they dress him up? He's a Republican senator. They dress him up in a women's outfit to escape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was... oh, no, wait. Oh, and by the way, some other Marines you may not have known who were actors who were in the Marines. B. Arthur, did you know that? Maud? B. Arthur was a woman Marine in World War II. She was a truck driver and a typist. Her name was Bernice Frankel. And when she was Bernice Frankel, actual civilian, she was in the Marine Corps, and she didn't like to talk about it, so she never would admit it. The Everly Brothers, Don and Phil, were Marines. Bozo the Clown, Bob Bell, the original guy from Chicago, Marine. Captain Kangaroo, a Marine. He did not get hurt on Iwo Jima, but Lee Marvin did get wounded on the Battle of Saipan. Lee Marvin, a Marine. Drew Carey was in the reserves. Pat Robertson was in the Marines, lied about being in combat. They didn't know that until this morning. That figures. Ed McMahon, of course, was a Marine, did his famous manual of arms. Riggle, the comedian and a very well-known actor. Actually, he's not as well-known as he ought to be. He's in a lot of things. And I remember when you see his picture, oh, God, he's a very good guy, very good actor, good guy. 3:30 already, holy cow. Coming up the Epstein list. Now, wait a minute. I hope this is only the beginning of a whole bunch of stuff. And I think there's an indication there actually they do have audio or video stuff, maybe.
Well, the latest is Pam Bondi has ordered Kash Patel to investigate the fact that some FBI agents are withholding some of the evidence.
Guarantee it. Remember the thing with the safe? We'll talk about it next, how they didn't get the safe and then gave the lawyers time to hide it or erase it. 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
Apparently, it's true. The facts are, 1, China sends fentanyl to Mexico. Fact number 2, there are thousands of Chinese nationals working in factories in Mexico, turning the fentanyl into pills. Fact number 3, the pills are then smuggled into America to poison us. How is it possible that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is not all along the border, and how come our U.S. military is not bombing all those factories? If I were president of the United States, they'd be blown up. It'd be like that freaking Harrison Ford movie where you get the undercover boys and you go wipe them off the freaking face of the earth and then suffer the consequence. Patriot game.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Atlanta Braves single-game tickets for the 2025 season are on sale. And not only can fans look forward to some incredible matchups this season, but the Braves have a ton of unique and exciting giveaways that everyone will want to get their hands on. Bobbleheads feature Chris Sale and Marcelo Zuna, presented by Delta. A throwback bobblehead featuring Chipper Jones from the 2000 All-Star Game, presented by SeatGeek, and many more. Fans can also look forward to collectibles like the 1995 World Series replica ring and red home jersey presented by Coke. And we can't forget about the kiddos. Every Sunday home game, the Braves will give away items to the first 3,000 kids through the gates. Even the adults will want some of these items, which include the Blooper Mascot Security T-shirt, Ozzy Albies Go Fish deck of cards presented by Curacao, a New Island vibe, a sliding mitt, pool float, beaded player necklace, and so much more. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of these awesome freebies and get your tickets to see your Braves this season. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Find your perfect Ford today at Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs. Home to one of Atlanta's largest selections of new and used vehicles. They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road.
Stop by today to explore their incredible inventory of cars, trucks, and SUVs, each thoroughly vetted to meet the highest standards.
Looking for power and performance? Drive home a legendary Mustang or conquer the great outdoors in the rugged Bronco.
Need family-friendly space? The Explorer and Expedition have you covered. Or experience the capability and strength of America's best-selling truck, the F-150.
And when it's time to finance, their straightforward, hassle-free process ensures your experience is stress-free.
With access to numerous lenders and expert guidance, they'll help you find the best rates and terms to fit your budget.
Which Ford will you drive home next? Find out at Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs, or visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Your Ford dreams are waiting. Make them a reality today at Atlanta's favorite Ford dealer, Jim Ellis Ford, Sandy Springs.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Bernard Carrick, former NYPD police commissioner and a consultant to Donald Trump. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Tug. When it comes to your home, Southern Exteriors has you covered. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows. If it's on the outside, they do it all. For over 20 years, they've been the go-to for homeowners across the South. And right now, you can get 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any job. Don't wait. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co today. Southern Exteriors, where the outside matters most.
All right, what it is. Just keeping it crunk, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder at 3:35. We're going to go hear Donald Trump in a minute. First, Mr. Bobby Brown, in this day 2007, sentenced to 30 days in jail and fined about $20,000 in unpaid child support. There was an arrest warrant issued in 2006, failed to show up for hearing on overdue child support for Kim Ward, the mother of his 2 children. Now, that's not the one he beat up. Was it Whitney Houston? He beat up Whitney Houston. Was it Whitney Houston he beat up or somebody else? Your fiance or somebody?
Allegedly.
Wait, yeah. Well, allegedly, my ass. Woman's dead. Anyway, now should we go to? We got birthday stuff. Should we go to Donald Trump? He's at the microphone live.
What's he doing?
He's got a news conference, I think, and maybe Founder, can we tune in real quick?
It's a rough battlefield. It's a flat piece of land, and the bullet only stops when it hits somebody.
Ukraine.
And this week,
talking about the ceasefire,
I saw the reports, and it's I don't even want to say what they are, but thousands of people, young, vibrant people died, and we want to stop that. Senseless. Should have never happened. This will lay the groundwork for a long-term peace agreement that will return stability to Eastern Europe and hopefully ensure that such a terrible war will never happen on European soil or, for that matter, anywhere again. It's a horrible thing that's going on. The disaster in Ukraine shows exactly why it's so important for the United Kingdom and other NATO partners to make large investments in their defense capabilities. In many cases,
I'll tell you what, it's a joint news conference with the British Prime Minister. I'll tell you what, Flounder, we'll go back later. The good part, when he starts answering questions and goes to the crowd, we'll go back to him. He's making he's just kind of talking with a PM guy. Sorry, there we go. All right, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? Well, I'll do all this stuff later with the thing. Oh, in fact, no, Well, yeah, I'll do birthday stuff later on. Okie doke. Again, Gene Hackman and his wife and one of their dogs dead. And I hope to God it was carbon monoxide, because then they would just have fallen asleep, including the dog. We were hoping, the dog, wasn't. We hope they didn't die, and then the dog did not, because dogs have a different thing with carbon monoxide. Maybe if that was what it is, and he was suffering and starved. I hope to God if that's what I hope they just all went to sleep. Anyway, more as we get more, we don't know much. It's happened yesterday. It was just revealed. A couple of maintenance men went to check on him. Anyway, now the Epstein list. Holy cow! Here's we got the latest is, and again, this is changing a little. The Justice Department is preparing to release all of it, but it has been released to some people. In fact, the release has been released to. Now I got two different things. Two libs of TikTok. But there's 100 pages released today, the Jeffrey Epstein information, a list of contacts without any further context. In other words, it's a list of names. And one person who saw it said the unveiling is a disappointment to sleuths, either to get new evidence on the billionaire pedophile's connection to prominent people. Among people on the list of those who knew him or traveled to his area, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, President Trump, although he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago when he found out the guy was messing around with somebody's daughter. Pam Bondi wants to release more Epstein documents. The limited scope is criticized by Anna Paula Luna. Ooh. I'm sorry, I had a little something here. She's delicious. Oh, God, she's so pretty. She looks like a Rio de Janeiro model or something. I mean, she's just freaking unbelievable. Anna Paulina Luna leads a House GOP task force on government transparency. She said, I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A New York Post story just revealed the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. And this is in capital letters. This is not what we or the American people asked for. And a complete disappointment. Get us the information we asked for. And, of course, some of the phone book address things have been made public already. One address book had names, addresses of 221 people. One address book was actually put up for auction for sale, and nobody bought it. The names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Chris Cuomo's wife is on there, Morgan Fairchild, billionaire Carl Icahn. Among others, his girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence for child sex trafficking. And again, that's all we know. Now, a couple other things. Let's see. Here's another thing. I remember when this happened originally. The FBI had a search warrant, and they went to Jeffrey Epstein's place, and they opened his safe, and they searched and found tapes and audio recordings, among other things, apparently. And then, as I remember correctly, the FBI, maybe because I don't know whether Christopher Wray was one of the guys in the on the sex planes or not. I don't know. Can't prove it either way. But for some reason, the FBI did not confiscate the evidence. They left it there. And then guess what? After they went back to get a different warrant to collect the evidence, not just look for it, the damn stuff was gone. I'll be darned. And they apparently told... on purpose. Yeah, of course it was done on purpose. So the FBI called the lawyers and said, by the way, we couldn't take the tapes or the video. We couldn't take the tapes or the video. So I will have to come back later at a different time instead of right now for you attorneys. Just, not that it means anything or anything. You dirty rotten. They did
the same thing with Joe Biden, remember?
They gave him warning. They did. It's exactly what. And by the way, it didn't have any, Mar-a-Lago raid on Joe Biden's Corvette either in his garage, with special agents and boats and SWAT teams. My God. Anyway, so the FBI is responsible. If this evidence is lost, it's gone forever. It's just so damn infuriating. And it was so obvious that it's a part of the cover-up. And again, whoever was responsible for these things has got to go to prison. Prison. I mean, this is really freaking... And more scandal stuff is coming over, too, in a second. More now in the court cases concerning Donald Trump and the Doge people. The Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts weighed in last night and paused the order that required Donald Trump to keep paying billions of dollars in foreign graft money from U.S. aid. An earlier federal judge had said Donald Trump cannot stop $2 billion from being paid. You got to pay the money. Last night, Chief Justice John Roberts said, no, you don't have to, forget that. That's not right. Untenable payment plan at odds with his obligations under the article to protect the integrity of the federal fiscal so-and-so. I mean, this is unbelievable. It may be short-lived. Donald Trump's eliminating more than 90% of the U.S. foreign aid contracts. 90% are cut. 80 billion in assistance around the world, gone. There will be a few surviving U.S. aid projects for advocates to save court battles and stuff like that. Decades of institutional drift and graft using taxpayer dollars. Well, here we go. And so finally, at least the Supreme Court this is round one. There's a whole bunch more coming. See, 343 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. In fact, speaking of things coming, an investigation. We'll talk about Catherine Herridge here in a second. First of all, Flounder, let's get the Mike Flynn fight. This was, they're going to be investigating James Comey for what he did to cover up the 2 honeypot FBI chicks that he hired secretly and off the books to try to infiltrate Donald Trump's campaign, including getting the goods on George Papadopoulos, where they ruined his freaking life as one of Donald Trump's advisors. And they tried to go, that was all off the books and illegal. Again, another example of a former director of the FBI, James Comey, trying to change the outcome of an election, trying to go after one candidate for political purposes and individual political reasons. Well, the former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn, working for Donald Trump, got screwed. They came after him. They said, we're going to arrest your son because Mike Flynn made the mistake of talking to a foreign diplomat as an advisor. And they say, well, you're not allowed to do that because of some federal law which hasn't been used in 40 years or something. And they went after him, ruined his life, threatened to arrest his son as well. And now Mike Flynn is able to talk publicly. And it's about time they're looking into the slimy Biden team, including the warning to former director James Comey. Here's Mike Flynn saying, you better be ready to give up something.
And so for Jim Comey, that's what I said earlier. Jim, if you get this message, start thinking about what you're going to give up, because you're going to give up some of your freedom because you're going to go to jail. You must go to jail because of what you did. But maybe they'll cut you a little bit of a deal, and they'll put you in a softer prison for a shorter period of time because you're able to give up some evidence on some of these other people who are even more deeper than you involved in this. Because Jim, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I mean, there's got to be evidence out there. It's got to be there somewhere. And by the way, how many people, underlings, do you think are going to sacrifice themselves and throw themselves under the bus for these guys? Would you? If you were an underling at the FBI or working for would you say, no, hold on, I'll tell you the truth. And by the way, for the record, I know we got a break here. Just one last comment about this whole freaking Biden thing. I think Joe Biden's dying. I think he has no more reason to live. And I think his wife's probably just saying that, the cuckold queen is probably saying, good, go ahead and die, Joe. God knows he's disappeared from now. I say make sure you start investigating his entire freaking family, including the granddaughter who got that off-account money from Uncle Ceausescu in Romania, and get to the whole crime family of the Biden family getting millions of dollars from overseas, selling the family name and selling America down the river, and get it done and get those people investigated and under oath and in Congress before he dies. So he has to live with himself as a live person to show what he's done to his own stinking rotten family and to America before he dies. Go get him now. What are you waiting for? Oh, gee, sorry, that doesn't sound very, forgiving. Well, it's not. They don't deserve forgiveness. They ought to be in prison. Sorry, I think I'll calm down now. 346. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. There we go.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
If you've traveled lately, you may have dealt with those annoying airline fees. But those can be minor compared to the fees you're paying in your portfolio. Kevin McAlpin here today with Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement. So, Evan, when you do a fee analysis, what are some of the things you typically uncover?
Kevin, most of the folks who come in my office for the first time, we do a full review of their entire portfolio, and they're very shocked at what they're actually paying in fees because there is no receipt that tells you exactly what you're paying, except there really is. You get a 400-page prospectus every year, and no one reads them because on page 68 and 400 and 362 and 27 and 342 are where all your fees. And if you can find them, you can deduce exactly what your receipt is. But no one ever reads those. No one can ever decipher them because that's by design. My industry's created those so that you can't find them. And so what we do is we do a full analysis, we do a full deep dive into what you're actually paying. I don't mind you paying fees if you're getting the reward. Are you paying fees and doing better than the market for the same amount of risk? Or vice versa, are you getting the same returns but with way less risk? Well, then maybe you're getting what you paid for. I don't mind hiring and paying for quality, but we got to do a review to know, one, exactly what you're paying, and two, are you getting what you pay for? And if you don't know that, then we have to do a review to be able to know exactly where you're at.
Call Atlas Retirement for a complimentary fee review on your retirement savings and investments. That number is 678-736-7799, 678-736-7799. Or get more details anytime online. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
A little Santana music there. Dun, 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 dun. Mummy Kokoma, what is this? Sounds a lot like that other one.
I think we've already reached our Santana limit for the year.
I'm sorry. It's on the list. Well, stop being critical of a founder and musical director. The man spends a lot of time making little colored notes here, and that's what the thing with our music, and so we don't want to be negative. 2000, she's got a 2001, Carlos Santana went back to Altién de Navarro, the Mexican town where he grew up. It was his first visit. in 46 years. A statue honoring him and his father, the mariachi player, Jose Santana. Statue unveiled. Santana was presented with keys to the city and named favorite son of Otlan. A little Mexican town and blew up. There we go. 2001. Let's see. Birthday list includes, let's see what pick right here. Joanne Woodward, speaking of 95 years old, which was what Gene Hackman was when he passed away. Joanne Woodward is 95 today, Paul Newman's widow. She won an Oscar for Three Faces of Eve. And they had an incredible relationship and incredible marriage. God bless them. They were, they still found each other sexy, and I think they were probably committed and happy. And I mean, what a great thing. Let's see. Oh, in this day in history, we got a little something here. Speaking of actresses and actri, on this day in 1935. Shirley Temple receives a special Oscar at the 7th Academy Awards ceremony. She was 6 years old. Shirley Temple receives the first ever kid-sized juvenile Oscar. It measured about half the height of a regular one. Shirley Temple shot into the stratosphere in 1934. She was in 6 films: Little Miss Marker, Curly Top, Bright Eyes, On the Good Ship, Lollipop. Remember that thing? Bouncy Ringlets, Sunny Personality, Wholesome, Hopeful for the Depths of the Great Depression. A cheery alternate universe for audiences suffering the effects of widespread unemployment and economic hardship. Let's see, a quick thing. After the first child actor nominated for an Oscar was 9-year-old Jackie Cooper. He lost in the Best Actor, and so they had a special award for anybody below the age of 18. Mickey Rooney, Deanna Durbin, and Judy Garland were among recipients of the Juvenile Oscar. The last one to get the award before they stopped it was 13-year-old Haley Mills in 1960 for her role in the movie Pollyanna. Anyway, there you go. The Juvenile Oscars, they don't do that anymore. 3:53, come repeating of it, Flounder. Catherine Herridge back in the news, and good for her. Man, she was at Fox, and she went to CBS, and they treated her like crap. And CBS, God, talk about the disgrace of what CNN did to itself. CBS is just as bad. NBC, all of them. I mean, it's really despicable. It really, truly is despicable. Catherine Herridge has posted photos of the confidential files that CBS seized, including sensitive reporting about COVIDs, the origins, the Hunter Biden laptop. They fired her last February, part of in battling the parent company, firestorm in a bid to get back her material. They took her materials and wouldn't give it back to her until she sued them and make a big stink. And finally people started saying, oh, wait, this couldn't be right. So they had to get back her stuff. And she showed exactly what it is. She called it journalistic rape. Herridge uncovered material on the Hunter Biden laptop, including $1 million retainer from the Chinese energy firm for the company and the business and the Biden family and Hunter. She gave the evidence to the CBS News executives, and they said, "Oh no, Nora O'Donnell, no, we don't, no, we don't have any." And then all of a sudden, Catherine Herridge looks at 60 Minutes correspondent Leslie freaking Stahl. Remember this with Donald Trump saying, "Well, those contents couldn't be verified. We can't talk about the Hunter Biden." She said when she saw that was 60 Minutes and Leslie Stahl, she about felt like throwing up. Of course, after the November elections in 2022, CBS said, oh no, that was real. We thought you meant the Schnunter snap top. God, we thought it was a whole, like a foreign, oh no, God, no, the Hunter laptop was real. Yeah, that's on us. Our bad. Golly, sorry. You dirty, rotten freaking snakes. And of course, Donald Trump suing him for the $20 million because they screwed up the whole thing with Carmela Seidpe. I mean, what a disgrace. God,
how can you have all that information, that important information, and not have it backed up on something?
I know.
Why would you
Everything
trust CBS not to screw it up? If I got something that important, I back up everything.
I know, but again, she probably trusted CBS. Again, I know. Again, you made a mistake. You trusted us. The whole thing is freaking horrible. Okay, one more quick thing. Then we're going to do a Flounders Funny. We'll play Jake and Lara here. And by the way, it's Lara, Lara, not Laura Trump. Lara Trump. Anyway, more social media mocking of Jake Tapper. What a freaking phony sissy do-gooder from CNN, bragging about how he's discovered there was a cover-up to Joe Biden being the cadaver president, and the media was in on it. Golly, I can't believe it. Now he's singing singing a different tune. Remember when he was insulting Laura Trump, who called him out on it the other some time ago? Jake and Laura. Here you go. The actual soundbite of the two of them together.
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are
to
no.
watch somebody on stage
It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter. And I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar.
I mean,
plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar.
This is the slimy little pansy, sissy snot face who now just says, oh, my God, there was a cover-up? Holy cow, we didn't, you dirty freaking, these people have no character.
They went frame by frame about Donald Trump walking down a slippery ramp, frame by frame, and said he should be invoked the 25th Amendment.
Right.
And what happens when Biden goes nuts for 4 years and disappears mentally and physically? This sumbitch fake tapper
I know.
covers for him, and now is coming out saying, "Oh, I knew this all along."
Yeah, I don't believe him. 3:58. More about this coming up. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Little Flounder's Funnies here too, right before the top of the hour news update here on 106.3.
My wife and I dropped our daughter off at the mall not too long ago. She was there to meet her friends, and her friends weren't there yet. My daughter was distraught.
My friends aren't here yet. Now I can't go shopping. I have to wait for them until they get here, until I can go shopping.
And my wife was like, I know, honey. That's the worst. Really? That's the worst? Remember those Chilean miners a few years ago got stuck in that mine for like 30 days? Do you think they're down that mine going, oh no. This is no good right here, man. We've been down in this mine for a long time, you know.
Oh my God.
We got no food to eat, we got no water to drink. There's not a lot of air left to breathe. We may not live to see another day, my friend. The only thing that I can think of right now that could possibly be worse than this is, you know, sometime when you're at the mall and your friends aren't there to meet you yet, and you want to go shopping but you can't, so you gotta wait around on the curb for like 10 minutes or something. I tell you what, this is bad, my friend, but that is the worst right there, my friend.
Who's that, Flounder?
Mr. Tim Hawkins.
There you go. Coming up at 4 o'clock. Oh, by the way, the latest on dating, and especially if you have a daughter who's a teenager, or a sister or whatever, you may want to hear this about what's happening against social media and, anyway. It's all coming up. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. 4 o'clock, another beautiful spring-like day. Gotta say it.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
A peace that lasts. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what President Trump and Britain's Prime Minister both say they want between Russia and Ukraine, holding a joint news conference at the White House after an Oval Office meeting.
President Trump says he's known Russian President Vladimir Putin for a long time and believes he'll keep his word if a deal is made to end Russia's invasion.
We had to go through the Russian hoax together. That was not a good thing. It's not fair. That was a rigged deal.
The president made the comment sitting alongside British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who is the second European leader to visit the White House this week, with the Ukraine war a central focus.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where tomorrow Ukraine's president is expected to sign an economic deal with the U.S. A mixture of mourning and questions after two-time Oscar winner Gene Hackman was found dead along with his wife and one of the couple's dogs in their New Mexico home yesterday. Sheriff's officials say there were no obvious signs of foul play, today, but they're not ruling it out. Hackman's body was found in a mudroom, his wife in a bathroom with prescription pills scattered nearby.
We also understand that the bodies were found ultimately, first of all, a pest control worker trying to get into their house, and then he called security workers. They said they hadn't seen the couple for a couple of weeks. So the bodies also were largely mummified, apparently.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Gene Hackman was 95 and an iconic actor.
Hackman, a former Marine, appeared in more than 80 films during his more than 60-year career, winning Oscars for his roles in The French Connection and Unforgiven.
All right, gentlemen. He's got one barrel left. When he fires that, take out your pistols and shoot him down like the mangy scoundrel he is.
He made his final films, including The Royal Tenenbaums in the early 2000s, then wrote novels at his Santa Fe ranch.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The Dow down 193 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Police officer and canine handler Jacob Russell Chaffins was fatally shot while attempting to serve warrants for domestic violence offenses. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave the Chaffins family the gift of a mortgage-free home. There's so much more to do to say thank you to our nation's heroes and their families for their immense sacrifices for us. Help Tunnel to Towers to lift up these heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Look out. Get it together.
You don't know
Nah.
what did you do to me?
James Brown, man. 1991. Look out, Jimmy. 1991, James Brown paroled after spending 2 years of a 6-year prison sentence imposed for resisting arrest after a wild car chase across 2 states. Jimmy Brown, you silly man. James Brown, wow. Every time I think of him, I think of Blues Brothers. He's the minister in that church. Anyway, cool. Let's see. Kimber Peen Founder, how's it going? Happy birthday to Chelsea Clinton, 45 years old, the millionaire industrialist. No, I'm sorry. Chelsea Clinton, 45, the millionaire fashion designer. No, sorry. Chelsea Clinton, the 45-year-old multimillionaire real estate investor. No, oh, that's right. Chelsea Clinton, the 45-year-old millionaire Clinton Crime Commission executive director. That I remember now. Isn't she worth like $60 million now from running for her percentage of the for the management fees for running the Clinton Crime Commission? Boy, did that money dry up as soon as she lost. What a joke. And another freaking... And by the way, the Hillary, she's got to get caught. There's some way that they've got to go after her in the email. There's got to be some kind of federal thing about fixing an election that isn't ex post facto thing here going on. Anyway.
Nothing will happen to her.
I know. And by the way, the news conference ended with President Trump and the British guy. And I'm mostly talking, I think, about international something or other. This day in history, 1982, Johnny Carson was busted and arrested for drunk driving with a blood alcohol level of 0.16, well above the limit. He would plead no contest to misdemeanor drunken driving. Johnny Carson in 1982, this day, was fined $603 and put on probation for 3 years. He had originally been pulled over because he had an expired registration tag on his DeLorean. Johnny Carson in a DeLorean. I don't know why I find that funny. Because, of course, the DeLorean was a whole scandal thing with the FBI setting up the fake DeLorean and caught him. And it's, I think that's amusing for some reason. Okay, doke, 406. Kara, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. And let's see, just another quick update, and then we're going to talk a dating thing for a second. The latest from the Doge people and so forth involves HUD, Housing Urban Development. HUD has now canceled federal regulations created because of Barack Hussein Putty-Tat, the divider-in-chief, which put extreme and restrictive demands on local housing developers, was going to try. Donald Trump said the rule serves to eliminate single-family zoning to destroy the value of houses at the benefit of fat cats in Washington. It's like Babylon Bee had a joke the other day, remember, where there was a TV show about 3 houses up in, to see who could build the best house, the 3 in Monroe, and the TV show was ruined when BlackRock bought them all, stuff like that. I mean, the whole world is changing about who owns what and who. I'll never own anything again. Obviously, that's a whole different set of reasons. Who was going to give me a loan? Yeah.
Well, just write him a check. You don't need a loan.
Well, I could just pay cash,
Yeah.
I could probably do that. All right, fine. That's a 407. We're going to do Pete's tweets in a little while after the next break. And we got Pete's game, and we got Flounder's Funnies and stuff and things and stuff. And more Doge coming up. But first, let's do this. I thought the other day, might have been yesterday, we were talking about dating and the dating culture and how women are wondering why aren't men in their 20s dating, and they don't understand it. And of course, it's clearly your own fault. Sorry about the. Thoroughly think about it. You're begging for it, and you got it. This is what you get. This is why guys don't want to be with you. Yeah,
and that's what you get.
Yeah, you want it. Yeah, exactly. And so now here's a little bit different, and it's even a little scarier because, thank God my daughters are not 15. But there's a new book out from a woman who apparently knows something about this kind of stuff, and it's called A New Guide to Sex in the 21st Century. And this woman, Louise Perry, is speaking directly to 15 to 17-year-old girls. She believes that progressive feminism is shortchanging them. We are not serving our young people as a culture. Avoid making the mistakes of their millennial predecessors, many of whom are now regretting spending their 20s dating casually and sleeping around. This woman now says, I'm not preaching abstinence per se. I'm saying, honestly, you'll be happier in retrospect to skip that whole part of the progressive life narrative. It's not a compulsory adventure you have to go through in your 20s, and you'll be happier if you don't. Young women have been denied the guidance. And again, I think, Pete, you might appreciate this, too. We've been talking about this quite a bit lately. Where are the women these days for all the things they should be screaming about?
Where are the white women?
Quote, young women have been denied the guidance of mothers, not because their actual mothers are unwilling to offer it guidance, but modern feminism has encouraged them not to listen. She says icons Marilyn Monroe and Hugh Hefner are, to a teen audience, don't even know who those people are. The modern angel of the bedroom is a lot different than the angel of the house of the 50s who used to hide her apron. The modern girl pretends to reach the end of the line pretends to like things that she really doesn't in a certain way for various positions. Pretends not to mind when friends with benefits actually cause her emotional pain. This book is an evisceration of a hookup culture that leaves young men feeling gratified and young women feeling used. I speak to young women, and the only sex they've ever had has been casual sex. They've never had a proper boyfriend. That was unheard of a couple of decades ago. Now it seems quite right. No, and seriously think about that. Like I mentioned the other day that I don't think any young girls anymore ever for a minute think about, I can't wait to get married in a white dress and have a little house with a picket fence and raise my kids and, two kids and a dog and, stuff like that. That's just not part of the young woman's dream these days, especially younger girls' dream. They never had a proper boyfriend. It was unheard of a couple of decades ago, and now it's widespread, coercing women into unsatisfying predicaments. Her advice: only have sex with a man who's older and maybe is on the radio and has been... She heard by... Well, you never know. You never go... anybody knows.
Actually, that works.
It does. I've tried that before. No. She says, only have sex with a man if you think he would make a good father to your children. Not because you're thinking about having a baby or anything, but if you're about to have sex with a man... Think about whether he's the kind of man that if something happened, he'd make a good father to your children. Use that as a good rule of thumb, young ladies, before you just give it up for the fun of it.
Oh, no. They like the bad boys that hurt them. That's the thing.
That's always been true. That has always... Mr. Big Brother speaking here, but trust me. These little punk little bastard with the little, their little peg leg pants and their white socks and their Puerto Rican fence climber pointy shoes or whatever the hell, and a greased back hair, and get all the girls in high school. Anyway, more and more young girls are waking up with the idea that something is wrong with our sex culture, but they're getting seduced by the wrong messaging, falling down the rabbit hole of regressive reactionary trend, like now becoming a traditional wife or a stay-at-home girlfriend. And again, that's the reaction now, is that now women are saying, well, I just want to be a kept woman. I'll stay at home, you take care of me, and I'll be this. Or what they call trad wives, where they do the cooking and cleaning and don't go out and stuff like that. And that this woman's calling that kind of a reaction, kind of overboard. You don't have to do that to prove that you're not being used. Demand respect for yourselves and your bodies in an age of sexual anarchy. A message for young teenage girls.
But also remember what the great Norm Macdonald said.
Norm Macdonald once said,
let's be very careful with the slut shaming.
That's
world
right. We don't
needs
want
sluts too.
Really, without them, I mean, seriously. I'm trying to think about. No,
no names.
No. Well, let's do that here, Flounder. Play a little music in the background.
Chicka pow.
We'll come in a little more on Doge here in a second. Oh, and Ben and Jerry want to buy back their ice cream company. Because they're not leftist enough anymore.
Unilever? Not leftist enough?
Yeah, not leftist enough, yeah. And they want to come out with a new flavor in honor of the Trump administration called Go Fudge Yourself. But I don't think that's going to be the new.
I need it.
But seriously, 413, Kimmer, Pete, Flounder. Tweets are next, I tell you.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast's premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Thinking about Gaza, thinking about Ukraine. Hasn't the United Nations done an amazing job for all of us of stopping the bloodshed in Ukraine and Gaza? Getting the hostages returned? Thank God for the United Nations. What a wonderful organization. I hope you're noting my sarcasm. Let me tell you a few things about how the United Nations was created. Russia was in on that at the end of World War II. We needed their support to get this hideous little international body organized. Russia made some demands. For instance, although every member nation would get just one vote in the United Nations General Assembly, Russia wasn't satisfied. No, we want 3 votes. America said, fine. Then the United Nations Charter said that no nation could have more than one judge on the United Nations World Court. Russia objected. No, we want 3 judges. And America said, yeah, okay, you can have 3 judges. How did Russia get away with this? What was their reasoning, their excuse? Russia, USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, 3 republics. Russia, Ukraine, Belarusia. They wanted a vote for each one. Under those same rules, at that time, the United States would have had 48 votes, 1 for every sovereign state. But the UN, they wanted those votes, and the United States said, yeah, okay. Name me one international conflict that the United Nations has ever peacefully solved. You can't. But we're the primary sponsor, spend more than any other country to keep that organization afloat. We're suckers. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug. When it comes to your home, Southern Exteriors has you covered. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows. If it's on the outside, they do it all. For over 20 years, they've been the go-to for homeowners across the South. And right now, you can get 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any job. Don't wait. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co today. Southern Exteriors, where the outside matters most.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Georgia farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers' continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player
you have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
In 1981, The Who released You Better You Bet, their first single since the death of the drummer Keith Moon in 1978. This was 81. Kenny Jones, formerly of The Faces, replaced him. The single peaked at 9 in Britain, 18 in America. Before the launch of MTV, August 1981, it was the fourth video ever played. You Better You Bet. The Who in 1981. Better you bet. Well, our birthday list, Ralph Nader. Unsafe at any speed about my car, the Corvair. Before I was going to Vietnam and bought a Corvair and had to sell it. It was a piece of junk, but it sure was pretty, and I had a lot of fun driving it into town from Camp Pendleton. Ralph Nader's 91 years old today. Anyway, happy birthday there, Ralph. And on this day in history, we got a little something here for you. Hold if I get Mr. Phone to be the thing with the thing there. Here we go. Was on this day, no, get with me there, thing with the thing there. Was on this day in 1949, Captain James Gallagher and crew began their flight, the first non-stop flight around the world in 1949. It was on an Air Force Boeing B-50 Super Fortress named Lucky Lady 2. In-flight refueling was used along with an extra fuel tank. Had a double crew of 14, including 3 pilots who rotated in shifts, 6 hours each. They refueled near Luzon, Philippines. Refueling tanker encountered bad weather conditions, and the refueling tanker crashed and killed all 9 members aboard. But the plane did make the first round-the-world flight in 1949, but it cost the tanker crew their lives. Oh. Wow. 419, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230, 404-741-1230. We got a little something here. We got jokes, and we got one-liners and memes, and we got stuff. And by the way, the latest on the Epstein files and the Gene Hackman thing. We'll talk about the 911 call. First, we got Pete Davidson. Pete's tweets.
A tranny freak tweets, if you can change the name of a body of water after 475 years, you can change a pronoun whenever you want. To which Victor replied, he just changed the name. He didn't start calling the body of water a desert, then insist everyone else pretend it's a desert and not a gulf, and then have a blue hair who majored in nobody gives a blank come over and label you trans-desert phobic because you insisted it's a body of water. Big difference.
That's the difference. He didn't say it was suddenly land.
Yes.
It didn't change.
Right.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Blair,
That's very funny.
Blair tweets, life is only harder for trans people under President Trump if you are trying to cheat in sports, indoctrinate kids, or shower with grandmas in Planet Fitness.
There you are. Seriously.
Yep. And tomorrow is a big day, Kimmer.
Big day tomorrow, Let It Rip Friday? What do you mean?
Al Sharpton is calling for a boycott of everything tomorrow to show how upset we all are with the crackdown on DEI.
Oh, everything's good.
That's right.
Boycott.
Reverend Al says no fast food, no gas, no banking, no ordering off Amazon, no Walmart, no credit cards. I plan to eat at Wendy's, fill up the car, cash a check, order me another air fryer online, and get a pair of jeans at Walmart, all while using my Visa. Suck it, you racist hood rat.
Let's not forget Tawana Brawley. When Al Sharpton weighed 400 pounds. Big, fat, lion
he got
slime
people killed.
bag. People died because of him.
Incited riots that got people killed.
Yeah. Tawana Brawley, they pretended they had raped her and abused her. And it was an absolute fake.
An anti-white, anti-cop hoax.
Yep. And it was deadly. It was really. And Al Sharpton suddenly is still in the world and being quoted and leading people. It's disgustable. 420. Pete Davis, thank you, sir. What's the matter, Founder?
Stratocaster John is on the horn. He's got an update for you.
Excellent, Stratocaster John. An update for Kimmer, Pete, and Founder. What you got, sir?
Well, the fuselage of the B-50 Lucky Lady 2 is still being preserved out at Chino, California, at the Plains of Fame Museum.
You got kind of a bad line. It's the fuselage is being preserved in California. Is that what you said?
That's right. At Chino, at the Plains of Fame Air Museum out there.
Well, I missed that last part. The claim to fame.
Plains of Fame.
Plains of Fame. Excellent. Well, that's good to know. And again, what a story and what a shame, the tanker crew. But again, thank you. I appreciate Stratocaster John. I didn't know that part of it. And there's there's the flying glide of Pete Davis when he spent $400,000 to take a 4-minute flight along a simulator in the cave somewhere.
It was a 2-hour flight, and it was worth every penny. Over the White Cliffs of Dover, buddy.
Yeah, well, when you got boards money, you guys, you're all set to go.
Spitfire.
420. A couple of update things here. Kimmer, Pete, and Founder. 404-741-1230. Gene Hackman and again his wife found dead along with one of their dogs, and the daughter says it seemed like it would probably be some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning from something. One quick update here. Gene Hackman, he was 95, found dead along with his wife and one dog in Santa Fe yesterday. The 911 call was made by a maintenance worker who discovered the bodies. He frantically called for the police to help. He was crying. He said, I found 1 or 2 dead people inside the house. Please send somebody quick. The man was heard crying and repeatedly saying, damn, damn, damn. The house is closed. It's locked. I can't go in, but I see that she's lying down on the floor from the window. Hackman and his wife are not awake or alert. No, dude, they're not moving. They're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick. A search warrant revealed that they were found basically decomposed and partially mummified, bloating on their face and hands, mummification, both of them. And they believe the circumstances are suspicious enough to make a thorough search and investigation. Now, when the cops got there, they walked to the front of the entrance and the door was ajar. They did not see any forced entry. They saw a bathroom, and the body of the wife was on the ground there. A pill bottle found near her, bottles open, pills scattered all over. Let's see. One dog in the closet dead. Another dog was lying by her, and another was in the running on the property. A gas company's been called. Fire department called. We don't know what might have happened with anything. And it's just a freaky case. It's a horrible case.
Your door is ajar.
Yeah. Well, it's still a door. But should we do the Gene Hackman audio thing here again for the what the man died? He was a United States Marine. Shall I tell the quick story again? And then I'll do a Pam Bondi update here. Hold on, I got it. Oh, come on, phone. Don't. There we go. Gene Hackman. When Gene Hackman had a terrible childhood, his father used to beat him up and disappeared when Gene Hackman was 13. His father waved goodbye and never came back. His mother was a drunk. He finally lied about his age and joined the Marines at 16. He was a field radio operator. He was sent to China. The fact that he was 16 years old when he joined the Marines was something that came up when he was on the David Letterman show, and David Letterman asked about it. Flounder, if you will, Gene Hackman and David Letterman.
What were the circumstances leading up to the decision a 16-year-old kid makes about going into the Marine Corps for you?
I couldn't get laid, and...
Point.
I couldn't either, but I thought maybe scouting would help.
I had tried scouting.
Go to the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no, I just wanted to get out of town, really. Marine Corps happened to be the only place that would send me, you know. And I was just 16.
And was that part of basic training? Good Lord,
No, I heard that they would send you to China, and I knew that was possible there, you know.
That's where he did go.
I don't understand that, but you were in from the age of 16 to when?
16 till I was in 5 years.
Yeah.
It took a while.
Great experience? Oh, I see. You stay in until you complete the mission. Yeah.
You can cut it there, Flounder. They go on to kind of gab about various stuff. But Gene Hackman admitted, he said, I was not a good Marine. He got in trouble so many times, they busted him down from corporal to private again like 3 different times. He did serve in China. He broke his leg eventually in a motorcycle wreck after 5 years in the Marines, and they had to discharge him. Then he went to the University of Illinois and studied journalism, and then dropped out of school, went to New York, and became an actor. Gene Hackman, dead at 95. And again, he didn't play a bad role, even the silly roles, like in Young Frankenstein as the blind guy with a monster, and but Unforgiven's one of the great movies, and of course, Popeye Doyle and the French Connection. But all those he was just in the Firm,
Superman movies,
the Superman movie, and the Firm. In the Firm, it was a very important role. It wasn't a huge role, but it was a very important role. Everything he's ever. You know all the movies. You're probably your favorites anyway. And a Pam Bondi story at 427. Kim, Repeat, and Flounder 404-741-1230. The Jeffrey Epstein files. Apparently, they released them only to some conservative outlets. And they're going to be released again later to everybody else, but it's only the first set. And here's the deal. Attorney General Pam Bondi's none too happy. She sent a letter to the FBI Director Kash Patel today, accusing federal investigators in New York of withholding thousands of pages of Jeffrey Epstein documents that she vowed to make public. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, said she wanted a full Epstein case file before Patel was confirmed as head of the FBI, and she only got 200 pages. Way off what she was concerned with a civil lawsuit concerning Ghislaine Maxwell, his former lover and accomplice. Bondi wrote, late yesterday, I learned a source, the FBI field officer, was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. The FBI has never disclosed the existence of those files and demanded they be turned over by Friday morning, 8 a.m. tomorrow. The FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and material related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients, regardless of how such information was obtained. There will be no withholdings or limitations to my or your access, unquote. Holy crap, the freaking FBI still has thousands of documents that they're hiding? That's Christopher Wray, my friends. The disgrace of Atlanta. I guarantee you he was erasing tapes that they got in Jeffrey Epstein's safe and shredding documents down probably in his secret condo down in Costa Rica someplace. I bet he's been shredding documents from the beginning. What a freaking disgrace. All these people, you dirty, rotten traitors, they ought to be in freaking prison. I mean, seriously, thousands of documents that the Attorney General says, wait a minute, I didn't know about this. How is that possible?
The bureaucracy. Tear it all down. Just tear it all down. Start over. Get another agency ready to go and get rid of the FBI.
And again, the Attorney General for the last 4 years under Biden, again, has, either knew this or didn't care or told them to hide it. I certainly didn't come forward. He never did anything about it. I mean, the duplicity of these sneaky, lousy rats for the last 4 years, hiding and cheating and stealing and lying and setting up people to be taken down for political reasons. I mean, this country's never gone through this before. God, and you get the family before he dies. I swear, I mean, man, that's the one thing I hope to God they do is go after Biden and his freaking granddaughter and all the rest of them, too, and have put them under oath and find out what they did and why, and whether they can charge them or not. And by the way, that's still a moot question whether you can have give somebody a pardon for something he never claimed to have done and with no charges. Get them all before Joe Biden dies. And I think you're running out of time because I think he's on his last legs. Where the hell is he? That's 4:30. Kim, Repeat, and Flounder. La, la, la.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
So let me stop pussyfooting around and cut to the chase. The world needs to know that the United States is going to stand behind any country that fights terrorism, especially terrorism born of that rag picker who was wandering the Middle East several centuries ago and suddenly decided, hey, I'm going to start a new religion. Hamas is merely carrying out the mandates of Muhammad, disgrace be upon him, as set forth in the Quran. You don't start stopping them now. Where do you start? Let's see if they have any more fear of Donald Trump than they did of Joe Biden.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The Atlanta Braves giveaways for this season are here, and you don't want to miss this lineup. Bobbleheads feature Chris Sale and Marcell Ozuna, presented by Delta, and a throwback bobblehead featuring Chipper Jones from the 2000 All-Star Game, presented by SeatGeek. Fans can also look forward to collectibles like the 1995 World Series replica ring and red home jersey giveaways presented by Coke, and a replica of Truist Park, perfect for your office. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Atlanta Braves fans, May is Military Appreciation Month and a great time to show your patriotism by purchasing a VIP table at the Warrior Alliance 4th Annual Veteran Impact Awards and Gala. The event will be held on Thursday, May 22nd at the Coca-Cola Roxy Theater at the Battery Atlanta and features dining, live entertainment, and Georgia-based veterans being honored for the significant contributions they are making in our communities. Purchase your VIP table today or make a donation at thewarrioralliance.org.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Bernard Carrick, former NYPD police commissioner and a consultant to Donald Trump. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Yeah, well, Billy Joel here. Never beaten flounder.
Well, you went uptown riding in your limousine.
Yeah, baby.
With your fine Park Avenue clothes.
Here we go.
Had the Dom Perignon in your hand and the spoon up your nose.
1980.
Ooh, when you
Winners at the Grammys included Song of the Year, What a Fool Believes, the Doobie Brothers. Album of the Year, Billy Joel's 52nd Street. Best New Artist, Ricky Lee Jones. Best New Disco, I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. Billy Joel, Best New Artist. Oh, wait a minute. Best album. Wait a minute now.
Best album.
Billy Joel's 52nd Street. Album. No, wait a minute. No, it says what? Song of the Year. What if I do? Yeah, Album of the Year. Billy Joel. 52nd Street. Sorry. Well, you know what? The thing is, they put a comma and then they have a semicolon, but they put them in the wrong place. And in fact, I will now tell you what happened to me in prep school once, and I got this right, and they couldn't freaking believe it. The professor put on the board the following sentence with no grammar. With no grammar. And you're going to know what a trick it was as soon as I repeat it to you just out of my head, off the top of my head. He said, I see who can tell me where the grammar goes, punctuation in the sentence you put on the blackboard. And the sentence was... That is, that is not, is not. That is not, that is not. And that is not that is. That was what he wrote on the board, and I declinated, or whatever they call it. Declination, declining, declencher?
Deconstructed.
Deconstruct. Yeah.
I forget what they
was fairly clever there.
I hated breaking down sentences.
I know.
Sentences.
Yeah, that's
the most worthless thing ever taught in school besides maybe Algebra 2.
However, when you, and the things that still get me all the time, and I hear it on the radio all the time in various places, when people say, me and her were going to the store. Oh, really? Me was going to the store? Her was going to the store? It's not her was going. She was going. So it'll be she and I are going to the store.
We are in the communications business. If you say that, if someone understood what you said, then you've communicated and you've done your job.
There you are. And now... something you'll really enjoy. Shut up. Josh Groban's birthday, 44. I think he's a singer. Josh Groban, his name's familiar. Yes. And on this day, you're not going to like this because this is a little lengthy, but it's kind of cool about Buddy Holly. And in fact, thank you.
Yeah, like this, it's a little lengthy.
It's like one of the funniest when Bill Burr was doing his thing. He said, I was sitting down with this girl, and she said, she said, I'm going to say something, and it might be a little racist. And he said, boy, I love the way this is going. Anyway, so, well, here we go. The story of Buddy Holly. In 1980, they found his glasses. The long-lost glasses of rock star Buddy Holly died in the deadly plane crash in 1959 were found in a clerk's office in an envelope. When the Beechcraft carrying Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper crashed in Iowa, it struck the ground with such force, all three passengers killed immediately, wreckage thrown for hundreds of yards. Snow-covered cornfield. The coroner noted that Holly was wearing the clothes and a leather suitcase near his body and personal effects. Cash, $193, 2 cufflinks, top portion of a ballpoint pen. Notably missing from the list were Holly's eyeglasses, the most distinctive visual legacy of a man who influenced the sound and style of rock and roll immeasurably, and they couldn't find his glasses. They did appeared in a government issue, but they were in fact carefully chosen, part of his image, not by him, but by his optometrist. Buddy trying to wear the latest conspicuous frames he could find. Personally, 40 years later, the doctor wrote, I was not happy with the frames he had been using. I didn't think they contributed to anything a distinct personality and performer needs. He found the frames in Mexico City, the doctor did, brought 2 pair back. The heavy black frames, Fiosa frames, that got exactly what he wanted, became a part of him, distinctive rock and roll. The violence of the crash in February were thrown clear with other wreckage in the snow, found later, and the melting snow made them visible again. They were handed into the county sheriff's office and sat in a desk for 21 years. Finally opened by the sheriff on his last day in office in 1980 and returned to Buddy Holly's widow. Oh, good grief. 440, Timber, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Oh, by the way, how's Doge doing? Check this out again. And again, this is almost every day we could give you something like this. The Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, has now terminated a contract with a nonprofit, an NGO, a non-government thing, a nonprofit, which was operating a Texas overflow facility. The former U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement employee and a guy from the Biden transition team joined a group called Family Endeavors in 2021. They organized to secure a source for HHS to continue to help overflow housing from licensed care facilities. The family endeavor's money and portfolio grew from $8 million in 2020 to $500 million in 2023. HHS has paid $18 million a month to keep the facility in Pecos, Texas open, used for housing for unaccompanied migrant children. Unfortunately, it's empty. It hasn't been used. It's not being used. And HHS has been paying $18 million a month.
God.
A month. And it's empty. There's nobody there.
Who's cashing the checks?
Yeah. Where's it going? Where's the money going?
I went on Perp Walk.
Holy moly. I mean, honestly, this is it's been a month. What? They haven't even gotten to the biggest ones yet. I can't wait till they get to the Department of Defense. Oh, my God. All those contractors. Oh, man, this is going to be great. Anyway, 442. I mean, seriously, $18 million a month to take care of unaccompanied children. By the way, the fact that we're even talking about the phrase unaccompanied children, hundreds of thousands of them are gone and missing because of the Biden administration. Allowed children to come in on their own, and they've disappeared. Don't know where they are. Sponsors were just somebody's signature, and nobody knows where they are.
If Trump had done that,
my God, I mean, that's unholy. That's inhumane.
It's a lost generation of these Hispanic kids that once they reach teenage, what are they going to be when they're teenagers? When they've had no structure.
I mean, it's honestly hard to believe. Did you hear about at Barnard College and Columbia University also as well? Dozens of the Kafka clad anti-Jew haters. They call them anti-Israel protesters. They're Jew haters.
They're Jew haters.
Yeah, stormed the Barnard, the oldest building like in the world or something, beating drums, screaming, shouting, throwing people around. And then some of the pro-Haas Jew haters student groups say, oh, those darn public safety people at Barnard actually shoved somebody. Oh, they put one person, they shoved him. Oh, my God, who are you protecting? All the Jews? You know, I mean...
Wade in with truncheons, on horseback with truncheons and put them in the hospital.
Exactly. Nightsticks, baby. And again, it's
Take their federal funding away.
Yeah. How could they allow this to happen? I mean, this is, and again, they're disrupting the daily activities of a legit. And you can't.
That's the only thing that they'll listen to is you take their damn money away, and these teachers and professors get fired for doing this,
right.
And the administrators get fired, and the college goes away. That's the only thing that's going to stop this. This is 1936 in Berlin. This is New York City in 2025. Yeah. They need to start protecting these kids.
Yeah, it's a less shattering version of Crystal Night. I mean, it's kind of a long, drawn-out example of what is the event of Crystal Night, what it meant and what's happening.
We keep hearing the talk about, they're going to deport all these ones that are caught with student visas that are foreign, blah, blah. Start doing it.
Yeah.
Why aren't there feds there arresting them right now and deporting them today?
Where are the buses going to the airport? Great question. 444. Also coming up, we'll talk about Ben & Jerry's. The founders of it want to get their company back. They sold it for $300 million 5 years ago. No, like 25 years ago, sorry. To a competing brand that takes care of Breyers and so forth. Anyway, so Ben & Jerry wants it back because now the new company, Unilever, is not as leftist as Ben & Jerry's used to be. So they're coming out with some new flavors on the own, like Nuts and Nads Swirl, Impeachment and Cream, Rocky Roadkill, Fudge Wapner. I don't know. These are ridiculous.
Rocky Roadkill.
Rocky Roadkill. Cookies and crack. I don't know. Last Will and Testament. I mean, again, this is just these are all so bad. Anyway, 4:04. It's 4:45. We'll do a game next. Let's do a game next. A game, by golly. I'm so excited thinking about it. Pete Davis special. And the latest on Gene Hackman and his wife and doggy and the Jeffrey Epstein ridiculous joke. And it's all
environmental game.
An environmental game, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what could be better? Timber, Pete, and Flounder.
The first 100 days of President Trump's second term will move fast. And with changes coming down every day, count on Atlanta's conservative voice to bring you the latest updates without the mainstream spin. The Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show. Our huge lineup has you covered from your drive in to your drive home. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and streaming across Georgia on the Extra app.
If you're looking for a great new gig, our friends at Atlanta Peach Movers are now hiring. No experience? No problem. Training will be provided through Peach University. And if you have verifiable experience, you can score up to a $500 sign-on bonus. Contact Orlando for more information at 404-640-1300. That's 404-640-1300. And get your new career moving with Atlanta Peach Movers.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Atlanta? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Atlanta for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FLIP to 64,000. Atlanta is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Atlanta and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FLIP to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FLIP to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FLIP to 64,000.
When you buy a Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying safety for your family, an investment that will hold its value, and something that will last a long time. You're buying trust. For a limited time, celebrate all the 2025 models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through March 31st. Whether you're looking to match your adventurous spirit with the 2025 Subaru Outback or lean on the reliability of the 2025 Subaru Forester, Subaru of Gwinnett has the perfect fit for your family. You'll love exploring in the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek, and the 2025 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. Plus, every Subaru model comes equipped with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Subaru of Gwinnett has been your hometown dealership for years, and we're proud to be here to help your family find a Subaru to love for years to come. And our award-winning service department is here to ensure you've always got someone to lean on and trust when you need us. Stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth and meet our incredible staff, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
Apparently, 429, Kimmer Pete and Flounder, Keith Richards. 1977, Keith Richards busted in Toronto, the Harbor Castle Hotel, after an ounce of heroin was found during a raid of his room by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Hello, Nell.
Yes.
Oh, golly, Nell. I've done tired from the railroad tracks with snidely whiplash.
Oh, my God. Keith Richards was charged with possession with intent to traffic and faced up to life in prison. Bail was set at $25,000, and the judge later said, you can go. Sorry, man. We know you got to play tonight or something. So it was all fine. Really, seriously, it's no big deal. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Adam Baldwin. He's not a Baldwin brother. I mean, he's 63. Adam Baldwin was Mike Slattery on the TNT show The Last Ship. He was Noel Rower on X-Files, John Casey on Chuck, and Jane on Firefly, and Animal Mother in Full Metal Jacket. One of the guys in the thing of the thinger. And again, Adam Baldwin, 63. And on this day in history, this was an important day for Kimmer Babes. On this day in 1922, the Supreme Court made a decision concerning women and voting. The Supreme Court upheld the 19th Amendment, proving women have the right to vote. It was a case of a Baltimore lawyer sued to strike all women from voting on the grounds that it infringed on state sovereignty, since Maryland didn't want to go along with it. The 19th Amendment said the right shall be not denied or abridged by account of sex. In 1916, both parties endorsed a female enfranchisement. Tennessee became the last state to ratify it. Number 36 required the 3/4 majority, and that's when it took effect and was upheld, and now girls can vote. So, look what you've done, by the way. Look what you've done. I mean, seriously, well, look what you have done. God bless you. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have a civilization and we wouldn't have people, So we need, God bless women, because otherwise we'd have one round and that would be the ball game. So, but still, look what you've done.
The downfall of Western civilization will be led by liberal white women.
Liberal young white women, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, 4:52, we got Flounder's Funnies coming up. We also have lots of things here in the old Radio Kimmer program with Kimmer Feed Flounder. Actually the other one. I'm sorry, I've got it upside down. We're going to do this one here. If you're on YouTube, you can see I have a sign, and on one side is Donald Trump, which is Flounder's Funnies, and on the second side is tweets on this day, and upside down is game. So here we go with the game with Pete Davis right here. What do you got?
All right. Both of you get to play on this one.
All right.
It's an environmental game.
All right.
Which state of the 50 states has the most forest land?
Most forest land. Well, you've got to immediately go Alaska, which is probably wrong.
Is 35%. Way wrong.
Wow. Well, then you got to go California because it's big.
California, 33%. That's even less than Alaska.
God. Well, no.
What about Oregon?
Oregon, 49%.
Nope. Are you talking about the greatest percentage of its size or the most number of trees?
Of the state that has forests on it, trees.
Oh, well, probably Minnesota.
And by the way, eastern Oregon is pretty much a damn desert, tell you the truth. Most of eastern Oregon. What was it, Texas?
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota, 34%.
I can't believe it. Well, New York State has got the Adirondacks, but in the Catskills.
63%.
Wow, that's a lot.
The most is 89%. One state has 89% forest land.
God, it's probably Arkansas.
It's been in the news lately.
West Virginia.
It's been in the news lately. West Virginia's 79%.
That's a lot, too.
Been in the news. Had a fight with President Trump last week.
Oh, Maine.
Maine, 89%.
Yeah, I should have thought of Maine. Yeah, New England.
Okay, which southern state has the most forest land?
Probably Georgia.
Or North Carolina?
No, Georgia's 67%. North Carolina is 59%. That is not the answer, though.
Tennessee?
Tennessee is only 53%, which is surprising.
Not Florida.
Florida's 51%. It's the lowest amount of any southern state.
It's either Alabama or Mississippi or...
Alabama, 71%. Mississippi is 65%. All right, which state of the union, the least amount of forest land?
Oh, Nevada.
Nevada is actually 16%. Not even close.
Well, then Arizona?
Arizona, 26%.
Texas?
Texas, 37%. We're talking less than 10%. Low.
Not Hawaii.
Probably Wyoming or...
Hawaii's 43%. Wyoming is 18%. Still nowhere close to the lowest.
Damn.
Illinois?
Illinois is 14%.
Ohio
is 31%.
Shoot,
you're going the wrong way now.
I know. I think states that are mostly... how could a state,
Okay, think pipelines.
Alaska? That can't be right.
No, that's 35%. What pipeline's been in the news the last 2 days?
Well, where does it go to?
Keystone.
Keystone, yeah, from the famous state of...
Christy Nome.
South Dakota.
South Dakota is 4%, but it's not the lowest.
North Dakota,
2%.
Wow.
Forest land.
So I would not have, if you had, I would never, The Dakotas? Well, I've driven through the Dakotas and I through the desert watching the roundups in the Badlands and the Black Hills.
Not a lot of trees.
Not a lot of trees. Now that I think about it, you're right.
Iowa is 8%, Nebraska 3%, and Kansas 5%.
Wow, cool. 456 can repeat and flounder. By the way, I see a headline here. Travis Kelce might have a decision, something to announce. Pete Davis got Holy Crap of Sports coming up.
I think he's pretty much going to play. I think it's pretty much decided he's playing.
Anyway, there's this little tease coming up for Pete Davis stuff. Apparently J.D. Vance got in a tangle with the British Prime Minister when they had their thing at the Oval Office today. And again, we didn't get a chance to cover it live.
He lectured him in front of his face is what he did.
Special relationship got toasty when J.D. Vance confronted British Prime Minister for his American allies' weakening of freedom of speech. Let's see. Vance said his comments pressed by a reporter. Oh, God, stinking you. This damn New York Post app, and it floods a whole freaking screen with commercials, so I can't read the stinking story. Let's see. We know that there have been infringements on free speech actually affect not just the British, of course, but the British do their own country is up to them, the 40-year-old added. This is our vice president. But also affect American technology companies and by extension, American citizens. So that is something that we'll talk about today at lunch. And the British Prime Minister apparently was none too pleased. We've had a free speech for a very long time in the United Kingdom, he said. It shall last a very, very long time, said the Labour Party man. We wouldn't want to reach across the pond, We don't, absolutely not right. We don't want to do that. We in relation to free speech in London, I'm very proud of that, You should not be. My God.
His government, his police and his government, basically, Labour government, threatened Americans. If we wrote something on Facebook over here, they would send limeys over here to get us. Give it your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, they literally said that. Actually said that.
We'll come to your door and extradite you to the United Kingdom.
And again,
bring it on.
Last week we actually told you the stories, and there's video all over the place of the bobbies going into homes and confiscating phones and electronic stuff and questioning people about what they posted on social media. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? If I can imagine the Alpharetta Police Department coming to my door because they didn't like something I put on Facebook.
Once.
Oh my God.
They'd come once.
You better call for backup.
Yeah, it's got to be some trouble.
Jesus. 458 Flounder. Right, we got Flounder's funny time here, do we?
When you're dealing with a woman, you got to choose your words carefully. Like one time my ex-wife was like, "You don't like my cooking." I was like, "I'm sorry you perceive it that way. I didn't mean to vomit." That's how you react. My dad once told me, "Quinn, if a woman ever yells at you, instead of yelling back, just relax, take a deep breath, and smack her." So you don't do something you regret, you know what
I mean? You might have gotten a little something backwards on that one, sir. Who's that, Flounder?
That's Mr. Quinn Dale.
Quinn Dale. Again, we're getting some really funny comedians.
I think he might actually be Dale Quinn. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, either way. And again, some of these guys are absolutely fantastic. Goldman Sachs is going to roll back its DEI practices. And again, the business world is getting on board the program. Donald Trump has made more changes around the world and in business and companies.
Not
just
Coca-Cola.
Well, there's a few holdouts, yeah. Anyway, coming up on 5 o'clock, Holy Crap, it's sports. Coming up, the latest on the Hackman family and the Jeffrey Epstein letters.
W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
The push for peace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump meeting with Britain's Prime Minister about the war in Ukraine, a day before Ukraine's president is due at the White House to sign an economic deal with the U.S.
The next step we're making is toward a very achievable ceasefire. We hope that can happen quickly.
The president also says he believes Russia's president will keep his word if a deal is made. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer reiterating his support for a possible European peacekeeping force.
I'm clear that the UK is ready to put boots on the ground and planes in the air to support a deal, working together with our allies, because that is the only way that peace will last.
A federal judge is ordering Trump administration officials to sit for questioning under oath about DOGE efforts led by Elon Musk to gain access to sensitive government databases. This after a lawsuit by labor unions and others. The same judge has refused to completely block DOGE access as that legal fight continues. Investigators not ruling out foul play in the death of Oscar winner Gene Hackman, found dead in his New Mexico home yesterday. His wife also dead in a different room.
There was no indication of a struggle. There was no indication of anything that was missing from the home or disturbed. That would be indication that there was a crime that had occurred.
Santa Fe County Sheriff Adon Mendoza, preliminary autopsy results finding no external trauma.
Hackman, one of Hollywood's most revered actors, starred in classics like The French Connection.
All right, Popeye's here. Get your hands on your head.
Mississippi Burning, Hoosiers, and Superman. Tributes are pouring in. Francis Ford Coppola wrote, in part, the loss of a great artist, always cause for both mourning and celebration, inspiring and magnificent in his work and complexity.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Gene Hackman was 95. He won Oscars for The French Connection and Unforgiven. America is listening to Fox News.
Police officer and canine handler Jacob Russell Chaffins was fatally shot while attempting to serve warrants for domestic violence offenses. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave the Chaffins family the gift of a mortgage-free home. There's so much more to do to say thank you to our nation's heroes and their families for their immense sacrifices for us. Help Tunnel to Towers to lift up these heroes and their families. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg, ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Stand by. Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls. 106.3, how's your Thursday? Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We're going to talk a lot about the Gene Hackman case again and his wife and the dog. And all of a sudden, this kind of, it's just a horrible case. I hope to God that it was some kind of a gas leak or carbon monoxide or natural gas or something, and that they just fell asleep and died. One dog was dead in the closet. Another dog was alive next to his mommy, guarding her apparently, or being with her. And the third dog was around the property. But anyway, I'm hoping to God that they just fell asleep and died because of some gas leak or whatever it was. And you just mentioned something, Pete. Wouldn't it be horrible? One of the pieces of evidence on the Gene Hackman case showed that he was, found his wife was discovered lying on the bathroom floor with an open bottle of prescription pills scattered across the countertop. Gene Hackman, there was a space heater near her head, which they believe may have fallen, we're not sure under what circumstances, of course. Gene Hackman's body was found in a mudroom off the kitchen. He was fully clothed, and his sunglasses and walking cane were found next to the body. And one person suggests it may be that he died, just dropped dead. And then, Pete, I think, was it you or somebody said, wouldn't it be horrible if she discovered that her long 95-year-old husband, who died of natural causes, just dropped dead and, it was over, just didn't want to live anymore, and that's why the pills, and she was in the bathroom, and whether she...
Had the door open, left the door open for the dogs to come and go? And
I
don't know.
Please, God. I don't know. No, but we don't know anything. The daughter speculated it was carbon monoxide or a gas leak or something. And again, we just don't know. And of course, all the, we'll talk more about the movies and everything else. A couple other things before we go. So you'll know this, Gene Hackman had a terrible childhood. His father was a scumbag who beat him up all the time and beat up his mother all the time. And when Gene Hackman was 13, his father waved goodbye and never came back. His mother was an alcoholic, fought all the time. Gene Hackman, when he was 16 years old, joined the Marines. Lied about his age so he can get in. Later on, we'll play the soundbite of David Letterman show in case you missed it, but not at the moment. Lied about his age, being 16, to get into the Marines, which was common at the time. Served as a radio field operator, and then in the Marine Corps, he went to China and the Marine Amphibious Corps. They were taking care of 600,000 Japanese and Koreans remaining in China at the end of World War II, protecting American lives and property as well. He was assigned to the 3rd Marine Regiment of the Signal School Battalion. Gene Hackman was in trouble all the time in the Marines. He got busted from corporal like 3 different times. He said, I have trouble with the direction because I have trouble with authority. I was not a good Marine, but I had a good time in the Marines. And then 5 years in, he got in a motorcycle wreck and broke his knee and his shoulder, and was discharged and studied journalism at the University of Illinois for a little while, dropped out and became an actor. So that's kind of the background on his how he got into the business here around this stuff. And again, the both of the bodies were found in conditions of being mummified. So, and nobody apparently had seen him for perhaps a couple of weeks. So Gene Hackman won Oscars for The French Connection and Unforgiven, both of which I have on my, I don't have a French Connection, I have Unforgiven still in that. Clint Eastwood, what a great movie that was, wow. A hard, tough movie, but a really, really well done movie. Let's see. By the way, other actors who were in the Marines that you may not know, B. Arthur. World War II, B. Arthur, under the name Bernice Frankel, her real name, was a Marine Corps truck driver. And she never talked about it, and for some reason, whatever. The Everly brothers, Don and Phil, were in the Marines as reservists. Bozo the Clown, the original Bob Bell, the original Bozo the Clown was a Marine. Captain Kangaroo was a Marine, never served in combat. But the story that Lee Marvin said he was the bravest Marine he ever saw was not true. But Lee Marvin was a Marine, and Lee Marvin was wounded, shot in the ass in the Battle of Saipan. Drew Carey was a Marine reservist. Pat Robertson was in the Marines, lied about being in combat, apparently. That figures. And Ed McMahon, of course, we all know, doing the Manual of Arms every year with Johnny Carson on his show and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
You are correct, sir. Yes.
Anyway, what a story on Gene Hackman and his wife and one dog.
B. Arthur. Have you BS today? Have you tried to BS today?
I want to show that. I mean, seriously, that was really, that was really pretty. The Golden Girls.
I watched that show for Adrienne Barbeau.
Adrienne Barbeau, the girl, and she used to joke about her rack. I mean, she had a rack on her, and she made note of it.
Still does.
Yes, she still does. Let's see, another couple of things here. On the other major story here was if you just get out of work and you're figuring what the heck is going on, here's the latest now on the business with. Come on, phone, stop doing that to me. Stop doing that. Here we go. Here's the latest on the phone with the Jeffrey Epstein files. Oh, in fact, first of all, there's one other update here, real quick. From the files are supposed to be released today. They were released to some sources, mostly conservative media like Libs of TikTok. One source who saw them said it's only 100 pages and it's just a list of people on a list. It doesn't say what they did. There's no context to it. So people are going to be very disappointed. And in fact, the Congresswoman Anna Paulina from Florida, she's just so gorgeous, leads a House GOP task force. She says, I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A revealed story says the documents will simply be his phone book. Quote, big capital letters, this is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment. Get us the information we asked for, exclamation point. The phone books have been released before, has names in it that now include things like Chris Cuomo's wife, actress Morgan Fairchild, billionaire Carl Icahn. Anyway, and now Pam Bondi's getting in on it. Pam Bondi today wrote a letter to Kash Patel, the FBI director, saying, okay, here's what I need. She had requested the full Epstein case file before he was even confirmed, and she said she's only gotten 200 pages. That's way less than she got and should have gotten, and here's why. This is a quote from the Attorney General to the FBI director. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. The FBI had never disclosed the existence of those files, and we demand they be turned over by Friday morning at 8 a.m. The FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio, and video recordings, regardless of how such information was obtained. No withholding or limitation to me or your success and your access as well. She wants an internal investigation into the issue, told Patel, propose personal action and personnel action within 2 weeks. And she's still supposed to release more this afternoon. But again, the FBI has hidden thousands of pages. That's under Christopher Wray, the disgrace of Atlanta. That's his deal. And you know they've been shredding and hiding documents, erasing videotapes. Oh, my God. You freaking Nazis. You ought to be in prison. How do you explain that, Christopher Wray? And how do you all top executives of the FBI explain it, too? How come you're not out there protesting and resigning? Shame on you. Shame on all of you. The politicization of this has never happened in America before. For years, it's been going on. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you get over this. They've got to go to prison. So, and again, later on, if we may get a chance to play it again, Mike Flynn, the former top advisor to Donald Trump, was president the first time. The FBI ruined his life. Faked stuff with him, and he says he can prove that Jim Comey was responsible for all this kinds of stuff, and he's going to go get him. And he says, you're going to prison, Comey. Mike Flynn says Jim Comey is going to go to prison. Well, I've covered up 513, Kim, Repeat, and Flounder. Holy crap, it's sports. Next, 106.3.
The latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Its intelligent technology is intuitive, its responsive performance, responsible. Turbo power with a hybrid assist, a digital yet sensual cockpit, and sporty elegance help make the C-Class a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Get an exceptional offer on the 2024 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. Just $459 per month for 36 months with $41.54 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through February 28th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Frickson Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
They want me to do what? Anyway, request for the Kimmer's attention coming up. By the way, George H.W. Bush said on this day in history, Kuwait is liberated and the Iraqi army is defeated. It was the end of Operation Desert Storm 1991. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis. All right, take a look.
The Braves visit the Nats tonight, starting in about an hour. Kaysen Elder starting for Atlanta. You might know him as Bryce.
Oh, Kaysen? I didn't know. Well,
Kaysen's his middle name. So
cool.
The Falcons interim GM and head coach both say they want to see the best version of tight end Kyle Pitts this upcoming season.
Well, really?
Well, that best version likely consists of him being in a different uniform and the Falcons having a few more draft picks, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up, but the Falcons are actually talking to Bulldog players about being drafted here in Atlanta.
Oh, now you're lying now. That's bull crap. You're just, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologize.
That's crazy talk.
I've never heard of such a thing.
That's crazy talk, I'm telling you. The Buccaneers are returning former head coach John Gruden's name into their Ring of Honor after removing it 4 years ago for unpleasant emails.
That's right. Wokeness.
Which the NFL leaked, so to get everybody not thinking about the Washington Redskins owner and all the stuff going on with the hanky-panky.
It was a scheme. NFL did it.
NFL threw John Gruden under the bus to deflect. In my opinion.
No, I'm sure it's true. I guarantee it's true.
Allegedly. The NFL 2025 salary cap has been set at a record. How much per team? What's the salary cap per team
this season? $14 million.
Higher.
$29 million.
Higher.
$64 million.
$279 million per
now,
team.
how are they going to get that? Did the owner just get out of his pocket?
They're printing money. The NFL is printing money. Come on.
Wow.
Think about it. That's an increase of $24 million rounded up from last year.
Yeah, but somebody's got to pay those salaries.
The fans are paying it with the season tickets being jerked up.
Man. And all the new sources on media, everything but the TV.
A little bitter there?
Yeah, I'm a little bitter. I used to be able to watch Thursday Night Football, which is stupid anyway, whoever Thursday Night Football. But now I can't even watch that because they don't have the fingernail
It's on
app.
Amazon.
Yeah, I should get that app with my eyeglasses. Yeah, I should get that.
I tell you, it's only going to get worse.
I know.
It's going to be all sports.
I know.
So I'm telling you.
I know.
All right. Sometimes you wish someone would take a swing at a sports writer.
I do.
Not actually connect, but take a swing over something they wrote. But even better than that is watching two sports writers take a swing at each other. We almost had that joyful encounter at a Starbucks at Indianapolis during the NFL Combine. Seems Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz tweeted that Raiders part owner Tom Brady met with Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford at a Montana ski resort, and Tom is trying to recruit Matt to come to Las Vegas. But then Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network tweeted the meeting was just happenstance and Brady is not trying to recruit Stafford. And I quote, despite reports saying otherwise, Rappaport wrote. This rankled Schultz, who confronted Ian in a Starbucks by getting in his face and saying if he had anything to say to him, say it to his effing face. Ian asked Jordan to step back, but before he did, Schultz said if this happens again, they're going to have an effing problem. Ironically, Jordan Schultz's father used to be the CEO of Starbucks, so he was on home ground there.
No kidding.
Yeah, all the baristas would have jumped over and had his back.
Yeah.
They're such manly men there.
Pour coffee on him, maybe.
Yeah. I think a celebrity boxing match is in order to settle this once and for all.
I like it.
I would pay good American money.
2 sports
to see
guys?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times you wanted to smack a sports guy?
There you go.
Yeah. The best tweet came from ESPN's Adam Schefter, who wrote, "I'm in Indianapolis, head on a swivel."
See where his face going. Yeah.
Because someone's coming after him. That's a pretty funny line.
Cool.
Ravens place kicker and massage enthusiast Justin Tucker denies any sexual misconduct, but still apologizes to anybody he may have left not feeling respected and valued.
And I saw that story. His wife now is getting involved in this about him acting inappropriate.
Well, she should have been earlier. Maybe he wouldn't have gone to these.
Yeah, the whole thing is just kind of creepy. Is this a thing? I mean, that's just really too bad.
Well, massage. I mean, how long have guys been going to massage therapists and got happy endings? Why is it suddenly a big deal?
Well,
maybe he wasn't supposed to get that.
Isn't the girl supposed to be wanting to do part of it, or isn't that part? And isn't there special? I don't know. I don't get massages.
Well, at the geisha house I went to in Tokyo.
Well, in Saigon. Sorry.
Yes, you're Saigon, me Tokyo. Yeah. Despite a trend to do otherwise, Longhorns AD Chris Del Conte says they will continue to schedule big-name out-of-conference games. Mm-hmm. Our brand should play the greatest brands in college football because we are the best, Del Conte lied. No one's thinking Texas is the best, please. They are so full of themselves. Yeah. Maybe soon, but not yet.
They were for about a week last season. Remember? They were about a week, maybe 2 weeks, week and a half, they were number one.
I'm telling you, if they'd played Arch Manning all year, they probably would have won everything.
I think
that's
you're
just
right.
my opinion. The Longhorns are scheduled to play Ohio State on the road this year. The Buckeyes will make the return trip to Austin in 2026. Texas hosts Michigan in 27, and a home-and-home series with Notre Dame in 28 and 29. But that entire argument by Del Conte about playing the best teams goes out the window after he announced Texas will also schedule a home-and-home series with the Arizona State Correctional Institute Sun Devils.
No, ASU, now just a minute. It's not a correctional.
Speaking of Arizona State High School, star running back Cam Skattebo is being sued by a former teammate. Skattebo named as a defendant in a lawsuit filed by a former Sun Devils walk-on offensive lineman named Mateos Katagaris. Katagaris is seeking damage of at least $300,000.
Yeah, what for?
The accident in question happened July of 2023. Katagaris claims he and another player were in the back of a golf cart. The team supposedly had been told the day before the rear seat of the cart had a weight limit of 600 pounds, roughly 2 offensive linemen, all right? Mm-hmm. Well, out of nowhere, Mr. Skattebo came running up, allegedly, and jumped on the back of it. And the whole thing broke apart.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Threw everybody on the ground. Katagaris said he got serious bodily injury, had months of medical care. Skattebo, the All-American, All-Big 12 selection, stole the show at the Peach Bowl, if you remember, against Texas. 242 total yards from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns, and the double overtime loss. He also threw a 42-yard pass for a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
And he says he's better than Ashton Genty. And him and Ashton Genty were the most impressive I saw most of the season.
I can't wait for the draft. I mean, I'm really going to be locked
draft
into
is
that.
always fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always fun.
Yep.
College basketball, the Sooners lost by 1 point at home to Kentucky, and one Oklahoma fan tried to take out his frustration on a Wildcats player by humming a beer can at his head after the game. It must have been thrown by the Sooners quarterback, though, because the can missed.
Well, he missed him,
Jake Knapp. You know who he is, Jake Knapp?
I do not know Jake Knapp.
Wow, you will now. It was a special day for Jake when he had 5 straight birdies to open the round of the Cognizant Classic.
Oh, no kidding.
Knapp, the number 99 player in the world, joined the PGA Tour's sub-60 club today, shot a bogey-free 59 in the opening round of the PGA National, the 15th time someone has broken 60 at a PGA Tour event. He missed an 18-foot, 8-inch eagle at number 18, would have tied the tour scoring record of 58 by...
the guy from Georgia Tech, the blonde guy from Georgia Tech University, or not. Or
Jim Furyk.
Oh, Jim Furyk. I've forgotten that.
Final round of 2016 Travelers Championship had a little wind at Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. The only trouble came when Billy Horschel on the 7th hole had to use a club to shoo away an alligator. He poked it in the shoulder, poking at it. Billy knew what he was doing. He himself is a Florida Gator.
Well, there you are.
Says his father used to grab him by the tail and throw him back into the pond. He said, I wouldn't do that, but I'll touch him with the golf club. They're more afraid of us than we are.
Well, every golf course I played in Florida when I was retired had gators on it, and I would see gators every day on the golf course. Some close and some just around. All
of him doing this, and that gator takes off. It's pretty. The cops
they go fast.
Like, what am I doing? And that sucker they're much faster than we are.
Oh, they're way. Believe me, if there's a gator and you go up near them, shoink. I mean, and again, they're big, and when they flip and flop and go, I mean, it's instantaneous. It's unbelievable.
That's it. Today in sports history, February 27th, 1874, baseball first played in England at Lord's Cricket Ground. I went by it when I was there a couple of years ago. It's in a nice little neighborhood, which is literally walking distance right down the hill from Abbey Road Studios. So if you go to Abbey Road and you're a sports fan, just walk down the hill a little bit. It's a nice little neighborhood, and there's this massive cricket ground right nestled in the middle of it. It's pretty cool.
I'll be darned.
1935, Babe Ruth signs a contract with the Boston Braves, serving the Braves as player, coach, and team vice president. The U.S. Olympic hockey team beat the USSR 3-2 en route to the gold medal.
But it was not the Miracle on Ice, was it, Pete Davis? You rascal, you sly devil, you... look
Time for the rest of the story.
Yeah,
1960, California.
1960, ladies and gentlemen.
1960. I always thought it was Squaw Valley, but someone said it was in California.
Yeah.
So
well, isn't Squaw Valley, California? I think Squaw Valley is in California.
I thought it was Idaho.
No, I think...
Okay, maybe it is California.
I think it's California. I believe so.
They changed the name, though.
Yeah, they changed it.
It's
squaw. It's no longer squaw, which means whore or tramp.
It means puta in Spanish.
Well, it means slut. It means tramp in Indian language.
Maricon. 1998, from Chicago's Holy Name Cathedral, WGN-TV airs the funeral of beloved broadcaster Harry Carey. Spent 53 years behind the mic. What teams did he do play-by-play for?
St. Louis, Chicago.
There's four.
Chicago.
So wait a minute. Wait. No, you got to give me teams. Don't give me cities with two teams.
All right. Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes.
So
close.
Oh, man.
You're so close. So close. By the way, the two teams in St. Louis, the Browns were there too.
Oh, the St. Louis Browns? Okay, I was going to say Browns.
No, it wasn't the Browns. No.
Oh, it was Cardinals, right?
Yeah, you got three of them, but you missed the fourth.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Further west than St. Louis.
Wow. He didn't go like Seattle. He wasn't in Seattle or something.
South of Seattle.
He was my God, San Francisco Giant or the
right across the bay.
The Oakland Athletics.
Oakland A's.
No,
I don't
remember that.
Well, maybe 1 year, and then he came back to do White Sox.
No,
and then the White Sox took him from the Cubs took him from the White Sox.
60s or something, I guess. Wow.
No, that was the 70s or 80s.
Was it?
That happened.
God,
yeah,
I don't remember that.
Because Augie Bush fired him from the Cardinals because,
that's right.
Say why,
he was having a thing with Augie's wife.
Maybe.
Well, allegedly. I'm sure it's not true. I'm almost positive. Our birthday. I'm sorry. Were you? Are you?
No, I'm through.
Okay. Our sports birthday list, Pete Davis, includes James Worthy, L.A. Lakers great, the guy with the goggles. James Worthy,
North Carolina,
64 years old today, and Tony Gonzalez, 49 years old. Tony Gonzalez holds every major NFL record for tight ends. Tony Gonzalez retired in 2013 with the Atlanta Falcons, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019. And Pete Davis, tell us about Tony Gonzalez, about the things that we...
There's a story that I think one of our down-the-hall co-workers once told, but I'm not going to say his name in case it wasn't him.
Yeah, I know you
told us something about he would show up at parties and show up at a party with a fish that he wanted the host to cook instead of whatever she had been cooking.
Yeah.
Just for him.
Kind of a special...
He's let's just put it this way. He's a very good player, but a very narcissistic individual, according to a lot of people. I didn't see much of it.
That's not the first time. Yeah. That's not the first.
No, it's not
anyway,
the first
so we have a hell of a football player. And on this day in history, the first woman elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2006. Her name was Effa Manley. She died in 1981, co-owner of the Newark, New Jersey Eagles, a Negro League powerhouse. Huge advocate for black ball players. The guys say she deserving, did a lot for the game, said Hall of Famer Monty Irvin, played for the Eagles in the 40s, started with the Giants in the big leagues, one of the first MLB black players. Historic day in the Hall of Fame for this woman to get in. Co-owned the Eagles with her husband, ran a business on the side, did more and more for the team, got totally involved, feuded with the big league teams. Jackie Robinson signing with the Brooklyn Dodgers broke the color line, and she went to Branch Lickey and said, okay, we got to do that too. She did a lot for the community of Newark and the world of baseball. First woman in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Monty Irvin mentored Willie Mays with the New York Giants.
Yep. That's 5:30 already. Holy cow. Kim, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. How's it going? Hope you're enjoying it. It's a beautiful day. What do you think?
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Georgia farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers' continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
When you buy a Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying safety for your family, an investment that will hold its value, and something that will last a long time. You're buying trust. For a limited time, celebrate all the 2025 models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through March 31st. Whether you're looking to match your adventurous spirit with the 2025 Subaru Outback or lean on the reliability of the 2025 Subaru Forester, Subaru of Gwinnett has the perfect fit for your family. You'll love exploring in the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek, and the 2025 Subaru Legacy is what happens when we put the best of Subaru into a sedan. Plus, every Subaru model comes equipped with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Subaru of Gwinnett has been your hometown dealership for years, and we're proud to be here to help your family find a Subaru to love for years to come. And our award-winning service department is here to ensure you've always got someone to lean on and trust when you need us. Stop in for a test drive on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth and meet our incredible staff, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. At A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds from local to federal for any jail in any city. And in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Georgia is home to over 600,000 veterans who play an important role in strengthening our communities. The Warrior Alliance is recognizing these contributions at the 4th Annual Veteran Impact Awards and Gala on Thursday, May 22nd at the Coca-Cola Roxy Theater at the Battery, Atlanta. You may participate by nominating a Georgia veteran for their exceptional service after military service in categories such as first responder, healthcare, education, military spouse, and more. Go to thewarrioralliance.org today and submit your veteran nomination.
Why does it matter that D. Geller & Son is Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler? Because we get first dibs. When diamonds come to Atlanta, they come to D. Geller & Son first. A bunch of diamonds that look the same on paper, but there's about 1 in every 10 that you can see from across the room, and a lot in every 10 that are what my dad calls duds. So we keep the good one, we pack the rest back up, and they go somewhere else. That somewhere else is usually a big box store that's not quite as picky. That means the same color, same clarity, and same price gets you more brilliance, more sparkle, more bang for your diamond buck at D. Geller & Son. That's what we call the D. Geller difference. So why are we so picky? We live, work, and play right here in Atlanta. So when it comes to getting you the best diamond, we have to get it right. That's why Atlanta's first diamond wholesaler became Atlanta's favorite diamond retailer. Come see the D. Geller & Son difference for yourself and find out why we've been Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939. In Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
You've heard me talk about Relief Factor and how many people enjoy a better, more pain-free life because of it, including me. If you're dealing with everyday pain, it makes sense you want to try it first. Well, Relief Factor makes that pretty pain-free as well with their 3-week quick start for only $19.95. But Relief Factor is an easy, affordable way to see how it could literally change your life. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally, developed by doctors. Relief Factor doesn't just mask the pain temporarily, it reduces or eliminates pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. Trying it couldn't be easier with their 3-week quick start for $19.95, less than $1 a day. Just takes one phone call, 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-4RELIEF. Wherever you're having pain, every day you feel better is a day you live better. Try Relief Factor's 3-week quick start today. ReliefFactor.com. Call 1-800-4RELIEF, 1-800-4RELIEF.
A lot of Led Zeppelin these days in the news, and on this day in 1972, they were in Sydney, Australia. 25,000 fans showed up. Jimmy Page appeared clean-shaven. He cut off his beard he had grown since the summer of 1970. A couple of years, and Led Zeppelin in Australia. Okay. I never quite got into that. 70s were not a thing for the Kimmer. Yeah, let's see. Our birthday list, it's 5:35. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Grant Shaw, S-H-O-W. I think you pronounce it Shaw. Grant Shaw, the actor. Jake Hansen on Melrose Place. The closeted gay star Jack Dawson on Courtney Cox's filthy show Dirt, it says here. Grant Shaw was 63. I think it's Shaw, if I'm not mistaken. And on this day, let's go take a second. On this day in history, just thinking of the joy of it, was on this day in history, 1827, a group of masked and costumed students danced through the streets of New Orleans, marking the beginning of the very first famous Mardi Gras celebration in 1827, the celebration of Carnival, the weeks between 12th night on January 6th and Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the Christian period of Lent. From Rome across Europe, later to the Americas. Nowhere in this country celebrated as grandly as New Orleans. Although I suppose, doesn't Savannah now make a big name for themselves with Mardi Gras?
No, Mobile.
Mobile? Yeah. Early French settlers, tradition at the end of the 17th century. Mobile, Alabama celebrated its first carnival in 1703.
Yeah,
later it was banned. The Louisiana Territory became part of the country in 1803, and New Orleans managed to convince the city to lift the ban on wearing a mask and partying. So the students, inspired by what happened in Paris, started goofing around. Crews formed, K-R-E-W-E, crews formed, building elaborate, colorful floats, throwing things, metal coins, stuffed toys, beads, and so forth, and which I did. My co-morning man, my guy, I was the news director and the morning host guy in New Orleans, and my Mike Summers, my co-host and news guy. He was my morning news guy co-host, and he and I were invited to go on a float at Mardi Gras, and there's 1 million people in the streets, and it's at night, and we're in costumes, got a mask on, and we're on one of these big, the crew of some, I can't remember what, and I remember what it was, and we're driving, we're on the little float being pulled along, and so there's people on both sides of the float. Now imagine it's 1 million people everywhere. There's people everywhere on both sides of the float as you're driving down the street all over the place, and it happened to be that we were standing throwing beads to the little people down below us through the crowd, and all of a sudden, on the same side, in that exact spot, I saw right there in front at this one particular spot, my wife and my 2 kids. What are the chances that I would, of anybody on either side of the parade float, of all the things going on, that I would be able to say, oh my God, honey. And of course I unloaded a whole bag of trinkets and beads and stuff on them. But what were the chances of that happening? And by the way, I did feel kind of bad about, throwing little trinkets and doubloons to the little people, So anyway, but that's, anyway, whatever. And now, of course, New Orleans, for the drunkards and the millionaire divorcees and the people are ruining
I tell
the
you,
police
if you've never
corruption.
been to Fat Tuesday, it was so worth it. It was such a blast.
Oh, it's different. All right. In fact, when I was there for 6 years, and I used to give the staff Mardi Gras off, and I would do all the news all day long from 4 in the morning. I used to get at 4 in the morning and do the morning show, and then I was the news director, so I stayed there all day from 4 in the morning till 6 at night on Mardi Gras, so that my whole staff could have the day off, and I did all of it. I did all the news and writing and recording and all this stuff, and they didn't give a damn.
No,
they whatever said. Hey, thanks, appreciate it,
sucker,
idiot. Well, that's me. My LinkedIn New Orleans. Never mind. Oh, sorry. No, I'm fine now. 539, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Oh, I'll get a quick update on the Gene Hackman thing, which now is called officially suspicious, although, again, I hope to God it was just, and no conspiracy theories. One quick thing, again, Glenn Beck, lately, almost every day on Glenn Beck's show, at some point, for a very long period of time, he has one of his AI expert guys on, talking about AI, super AI, and all the things that's happening, and the chat GP stuff, and all these new Alexa things, or whatever this is. This guy he had on today was saying this, and this is the first time I've heard anybody actually say this about what's going on in the world. This guy said, everybody should get the Grok 3. I don't know what that is, but it's an AI app, I get. Pete, is that what you have? AI 3, Grok 3 on your phone. He says everybody should get this AI Grok 3 because he said it's easy to use. You can talk to it. It's very simple. And he said everybody should get the Grok 3, and you should play with it. You should have fun with it. You should experiment with it. And you should learn all about it, or you're going to be left behind.
Yep.
You're going to be like, as I'm speaking now as the Kimmer, a guy like me who knows it's over. There's no way that I can get involved. I could know more than the man in the moon suddenly join the mainstream of the high-tech people with apps and things and Chat GPT and Grok 3. There's no way I could do it. I guarantee I would probably explode. My mind would probably just break.
Is talk to it. Ask it a question. It does all the work.
Okay, but what work? What was it? I can't do anything for me.
Ask it to paint a picture of me riding a buffalo, and it'll do it to you within 2 minutes.
And it'll show it on your phone?
Yeah, it'll send it to you.
All right, and now what's going to... Oh, my God, and we thought people were locked in their phone before. Now they're never going to leave the house. They're never going to go to school again.
They're going to put it in your head, Neuralink. It's going to be in their heads. You want to hear what Elon said about it yesterday?
Yeah.
He said, talking about AI, it's infected by the woke mind virus because humans have programmed that into it. For example, when AIs were asked whether global thermonuclear war or misgendering was worse, the computers picked misgendering. So the problem with the super powerful AI is that it could decide the only real 100% certain way to stop misgendering is to kill all humans.
Well, again, it would end all the diseases. They said before, if we want to get rid of cancer, just change the human body or get rid of all the humans who have no more disease. That'd be the simple way. Oh, God. I mean, honestly, and he said, everybody better do this. Everybody better get that.
If you're young, you better. Yeah.
And I would be, if I were 20, I don't know what the hell I'd do with seriously, if it just started college maybe, and all this is breaking, what the hell would you do? Is college even a thing anymore? Is really college, I think about that. College life is what? Is college life, living in a dorm, going to parties, getting high and getting drunk and going to football games and going to class once in a while and hearing what a professor says? Is it all lectures in college now? I don't even know. Do they have I don't know.
Not at Barnard or Columbia.
Well, not anymore.
When you have the terrorist walking by.
I mean, if you're a freshman at UGA and if you had taken geology, if you're taking a class in geology, is it just a professor giving a 500-person lecture in a big hall? And then what you read and you do the assignments like it used to be? You get a lecture and then sometimes you break off in a group and then you'd read the books and stuff. That's what college studies were.
Books.
I don't know. God knows what's going on now. I have no idea. And with this AI, hell, if you do this, what's the point of getting a book? If you have this thing in your phone, you can, and the professor says, okay, I need a 500-word report tomorrow on, how come the oxygen in the sky is depleted from the so-and-so. You say, okay, thanks, Professor, see you tomorrow. You get in your car and say, hey, I need this freaking, hey, Grok, baby, I need this report, 500 words, and blue skies, oxygen, okay, I'll talk to you later, boom. Hey, let's go drink, and I call party. My God, why would you even do anything? Everything will be done for you.
They've actually got AI that will search the other AI to see if the AI wrote it.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's going to be some way to catch somebody doing something, but again, then what's the point? Okay, now let me ask you this: if you are a teacher or an educator system, and your education system says we want to teach people about business, and we want to teach them what businesses do and what it means to invest and what it means to save and what it means to have budgets and things like that. Basic what business should accomplish. If I'm the guy and I want them to learn what it is, I would say, okay, AI, Grok 3, write it all out and give it to this guy. Cut out the middleman. In other words, there's no need for teachers. If you're a businessman and you say, I want to get somebody who knows how to do that, or I want to train somebody to be able to do this in marketing or whatever it is, you're looking for a skill or certain thing, then you get your a Grok 3 guy to lay it out. Why go to college? What if you want somebody to learn something and you could? It'd be like having a tutor. If you never go to school, if you had a tutor, if the tutor said, "Well, you want to learn geography today? I know. Let's learn geometry." You become an engineer. Triangle. Yeah, and have a guy.
You become an engineer or something like that. You're going to have to find somebody who agrees that your AI was better than the college. That's why they'll hire you, right. Or else they'll say, "No, you needed to go to Georgia Tech."
Right.
Or Georgia Tech will have their own Grok sitting there waiting to help you.
But again, this is now a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a new industry.
It's a whole thing. The world just went wow.
They said the next 20 years, hold on to your hats. The world is going to change in the next 20 years. You won't recognize it.
It already started. This guy said, if you don't get the Grok 3,
I say 5.
It's over.
I say you got 5 years, 10 at the tops before everything's changed.
Well, I know I'll never be able to find another job because they'll be out. I wouldn't even know how to do anything.
It's a new industrial revolution is what it is.
Holy cow. 546, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Another Founders Funny coming up here and goofing around and whatever. There we go. Look out.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
So let me stop pussyfooting around and cut to the chase. The world needs to know that the United States is going to stand behind any country that fights terrorism, especially terrorism born of that rag picker who was wandering the Middle East several centuries ago and suddenly decided, hey, I'm going to start a new religion. Hamas is merely carrying out the mandates of Muhammad, disgrace be upon him, as set forth in the Quran. You don't start stopping them now. Where do you start? Let's see if they have any more fear of Donald Trump than they did of Joe Biden.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty Notes are not
obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The Atlanta Braves giveaways for this season are here, and you don't want to miss this lineup. Bobbleheads feature Chris Sale and Marcell Ozuna, presented by Delta, and a throwback bobblehead featuring Chipper Jones from the 2000 All-Star Game, presented by SeatGeek. Fans can also look forward to collectibles like the 1995 World Series replica ring and red home jersey giveaways presented by Coke, and a replica of Truist Park, perfect for your office. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. You want to jump into spring and not worry about your home? Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day, and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day. The Trusted Toolbox.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Atlanta? We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Atlanta for free. That's right. We'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FLIP to 64,000. Atlanta is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Discover the simple steps developed by Joe Arias, one of real estate's greatest rags to riches stories. You'll learn to flip properties and secure rental properties without using your own money and in your spare time. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Atlanta and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FLIP to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FLIP to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FLIP to 64,000.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's favorite family lifestyle magazine. Partnering with our community and local businesses is what we love to do. Check out what's happening at the Avenue West Cobb.
Hey everyone, I'm Alondra. The Avenue West Cobb is just a short drive from Atlanta. Discover the dynamic mix of premium national brands like J. Jill and J. Crew, plus unique local realtors and delicious restaurants, including Lazia and Jim and Nick's. And don't forget our exciting events. Our bunny photos and our annual spring festival is just around the corner, and Puppy Fun at Paul's Fest is this summer. The Avenue is a vibrant destination with entertainment for the whole family. For the latest details, please visit us at theavenuewestcobb.com.
Sounds amazing. Friends, I'll see you at the Avenue West Cobb. Remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
1982, it was over. The British House of Commons resolves against, quote, the further prosecution of offensive war on the continent of North America, unquote. It was the end of the Revolutionary War. Would officially end with the signing of the Treaty of Paris of the following year, but that's just for the record.
Don't tread on me. What the sign says right here.
That's right. There you go. In fact, I wonder if they still believe that up there. I hope so.
No.
I don't think they do.
They could probably vote to rejoin Great Britain. If you went to New England right now, they'd probably
honestly,
vote to rejoin.
What's going on in Massachusetts? My brot's still there living in a car. I mean, it's just, honestly, anyway. Let's see. Kim repeating the flounder. Oh, let's do this. Gene Hackman, God bless him, 95 years old. He and his wife dead. One of their dogs dead. Another one guarding the woman still alive, this mommy, and the other one out in the property, but found yesterday, hoping it's carbon monoxide poisoning, but it looks a little suspicious now. They're not sure what's going on. They were mummified, so they'd been like that, been dead for quite some time, apparently. Two things. First of all, Gene Hackman, known for an innumerable amount of really, really good roles, including when he played a basketball coach. And if I remember correctly, I heard this morning they were saying Gene Hackman and who's the motorcycle guy? What's his name? The co-star. I played the drunk coach. Gene Hackman and the guy from the 70s, motorcycle guy. Oh, come on, you're killing me.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. And Gene Hackman went to Dennis Hopper and said, our careers are over. If we do this movie, our careers are over. This is how bad this movie is. And the movie was the Coach movie. What was it called again? Flounders.
Never saw it.
Oh, Flounders got it right here. What's it called? Flounder, the movie?
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. There it is. Soundbite right here. My God. Play the thing.
Don't tell the ending. I never
Just
saw
play
it.
the thing. Here you go. Play it.
Forget about the crowds.
Oh, crap.
The size of the school. Their fancy uniforms. And remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals that we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay? All right. Let's go. Let's go. Let me hear it.
Actually, I was a movie with Barbara Hershey, not too hard to look at.
Yeah.
Barbara Hershey running around the woods with him there, and again, that was probably my least favorite of his movies that I've saw. I didn't like the Dennis Hopper role either. But it was what the hell? It was Gene Hackman.
Everybody loves it.
And do we have time? Let's play a little bit of the David Letterman clip. Gene Hackman lied about his age when he was 16 and joined the Marines. And David Letterman asked him about it one time on the show, Floater.
What were the circumstances leading up to the decision a 16-year-old kid makes about going into the Marine Corps for you?
I couldn't get laid, and
Good things.
I couldn't either, but I thought maybe scouting would help.
Anyway, that's it.
I had tried scouting.
That's David Letterman and Gene Hackman. And, of course, he won 2 Oscars for Unforgiven and The French Connection. And could have won more. I mean, every role he did was just a remarkable.
The Chamber.
The Chamber. That was a tough movie to watch, too, as I recall. Wasn't there a kid in that movie
Chris O'Donnell?
Chris O'Donnell, that's what it was, and he played one of the preppy kids, I think, in one of the Father.
He was Robin in Batman and Robin.
Well, that's
George
right too.
Clooney.
That's right too.
That didn't help.
No, the thing.
And Faye Dunaway was in that movie, and Bo Jackson is in that movie.
I don't remember that.
He plays a prison guard. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be damned. God, that was what 30 years ago, probably.
90s, I think.
Yeah,
the 90s,
probably.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Anyway, Kevin P. and Flounder, 558. And again, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, says, telling the FBI director, you get those. The FBI in New York has been hiding in secrecy, squirreling away 2,000 pages of documents on Jeffrey Epstein that they did not turn over as she demanded. And Pam Bondi is ticked off about it and is going to get to the bottom of it. Unbelievable. Flounder's Funnies, one more shot here before we go. What do you got a little something here for us here, Flounder?
I take my son up to the classroom. I see an Asian guy, Asian father.
It's Asian kid.
Look at how quiet it got on Asian father. You believe that? I said Asian father. Everybody in the room, their ass just tightened up. Oh, wait, guy, where are we going with this? We're looking at the class, and he points out his son. He's the only Asian kid in the class. He's like, that's my boy. I'm like, I know.
Hard to miss.
You got people in this room looking up here going, you are so close-minded. Don't you think there's other possibilities? Don't you think maybe the Asian father adopted the black child and the black father adopted the Asian child? I said, listen, if I'm putting money on who this Asian kid's going home with, it's this guy. All right? Put $100 on the table. I want to see how PC you get. Where I'm from, these two came in the same car.
Who's that, Flounder?
Sebastian
Monticello or whatever it is. I mean, you always mispronounce. I always mispronounce his name. Anyway, Flounder, thank you, my friend. Pete Davidson. It's tomorrow, Let Her Rip Friday. It's only me. I've got to go. You're killing me. Christine, sing me home, baby. Well, hoorah, herb, and a herb.
The Kimmer Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, XTRA 106.3.